here. It's big. And it's closer than you think. It's not a tournament. It's what you don't see on TV. The cash is real. The stakes are high. They bet big. They win big. They lose big. High stakes live action poker. Live at the bike. Watch it live on the web or play it if you dare at the Bicycle Casino right here in Los Angeles.
Starting to see 5. Seat 1 is there.
Are we live already?
And we are live at the bike, and this is David Tuchman, and I am here with Shirley Rosario, and this is the first and only live webcast of a live cash game. Welcome to all of you watching, and we are playing 30-60 Limit Hold'em today, and that means the first 2 levels are 30, and the last 2 betting rounds are $60 rounds. And let's do a quick introduction of the players today.
Okay.
In seat 1, we have yet to know his name, but we're calling him Harry Potter. So there you go. And in seat 2, there is Maury.
Okay, seat 1 is George.
George, okay, there you go. And seat 2 is still Maury. Seat 3 is Steve. And seat 4, Fred. Seat 5. Seat 5 is actually nobody there right now. It's locked up, though. You can see the chip there. Somebody will be coming soon. Seat 6 is Lizette. Seat 7 is that Camille?
Yes, Camille.
Camille. And seat 8 is Don. And seat 9 is Grace. Everybody's favorite, Action Grace there. And Action Grace is a little low on the chips there.
Looks like low on chips. Yeah, the chips are $10. Each stack represents $200.
And quick bet there. Lizette's going to take it down. She had ace-king there, and she takes it down with a bet. The blinds in this game are actually 2 chips and 3 chips, so $20 in the small blind and $30 in the big blind. And there you go. How you been, Shirley? I haven't seen you in a while.
I've been doing okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I'm excited about Tahoe. So
Are you? Oh,
yeah,
right.
I'll leave Friday.
Oh, good. Well, we'll all have some positive thinking for you, Shirley.
Yeah, I hope so. Thank you. Hope
Send
it works.
it your way.
Yeah.
We get a raise out of seat 1 there. George is going to raise it up. He's got ace, it looks like ace 9 offsuit, ace of hearts, 9 of clubs. And only the big blind calls, and that's Camille. And he's in bad shape. He doesn't know it, but he's in bad shape. And it's quick. George takes advantage of his position, and he bets, and he takes down the pot.
What is this? They have this only on Wednesday night? One on Wednesdays. I mean, I'm not coming on Wednesdays no more.
So I've actually kind of missed the commentary. Last week I was out of town.
Right.
I had to fly out to England for a quick little family thing, and but I was thinking of you guys.
Oh, I'm sure.
I was really thinking of you guys, and I missed it.
We had a good game last Thursday. We had a $5,000 buy-in shootout.
Oh wow, that's great.
Yeah, that was fun.
That's always exciting.
Shootouts I consider to be probably my strongest.
Yeah, was Amir Vahidi here?
Yes.
Yeah, he usually plays in for the shootouts.
Oh, well, he didn't play in that. He stopped in to play in the tournament, and I grabbed him and came in the booth for a little while.
Okay, cool. We got here, Lizette's going to raise it on the button with Queen Jack suited. Or actually, I take that back. I believe Fred raised it with King 7 suited, and Lizette just called with Queen Jack suited.
Here he comes, I know.
And diamonds and hearts are abundant in this one, huh?
Yeah.
How does it raise?
And he bets on nobody's got anything here.
Wow, yeah, Lizette put in a raise right there.
Yeah, Lizette's a real aggressive player.
That worked well.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say the flop missed everybody, so if anybody's real aggressive on this one, they could take it.
Uh-huh.
I mean, you get a flop like that, it often does miss everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, you bought that? How much did you pay for it? No, I haven't bought it yet.
Yeah, so besides Amir, we had Tuan Lee stop in and talk, and we had Hassan Habib come in and talk.
Wow, Tuan Lee
Yeah, it
and
was the
Hassan
action
Habib.
day. Yeah, I mean,
they've
a lot
had
of big names come in here and talk.
They've had a good last couple of weeks, huh?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah. I'm actually, speaking of tournaments myself, I'm actually really excited. I've just secured my room down in Vegas for the World Series.
Right.
And looking forward to going down there.
Me too.
Hopefully representing well. And I just want to say welcome to all the 2+2ers out there. We do appreciate you.
Don't forget the other forums.
Oh, right, all the other forums, too. What other forums are...
Full Contact Poker.
Thank you.
And it's Hold'em, Internet Hold'em Poker.
Oh, there you go.
And RPM.
Oh, wow. Very cool. And this is interesting. Got a raise out of the button with Ace-King, and then a call out of the small blind with King-Jack. King-Jack's a tough hand to play in the small blind. Seat 5 is also in there. And he looks like he's got Queen-9 of diamonds.
Okay, that's Jim.
Yeah, he had posted in there. So he figured for 3 more, why not see it? And Camille bet, and Don took one off. And Camille's going to keep betting this. And Don's got to throw away his king high. Once again, we are live at the bike. I am David Tuchman. I'm here tonight with Shirley Rosario. We are unscripted, unrehearsed, and unedited. If you have any questions or comments, please email us at liveatthebike.com.
So this is your first day back to work?
No, I was back on Saturday, but did not do the commentary. I think everybody was worried that I'd be too jet lagged.
Oh. Okay.
So I was back on Saturday and Sunday. I was here, and then my normal days off are Monday and Tuesday. So. And the button here is in seat 8. Don. Once again, the small blind is 20. Grace is the small blind, 2 chips. Big blind is George, seat 1. He's got 3 chips out there, $30.
Chop?
And they're going to chop it up. Move on. And this game can get really big, 30-60. It is very easy to win a couple $1,000 or lose a couple $1,000 really quick.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I do.
I love her, man. I'm in love with her. I know her many years. She's gorgeous.
How much?
12. Don't give her more than 12.
Okay.
I made one for 80,000. I told you, but the
Yeah,
diamonds
but the
were
diamonds
great and it
were
was black.
bigger. Yeah.
Bigger. It was like around 22 carats.
Yeah? Okay. Yeah, you said not to.
And we got a suited ace in the big blind here. But unless Grace decides to try to steal it with Queen 7 suited, and she doesn't. Looks like they might chop it up. No. They're going to play. Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. Seat 5 actually limped in with King 10.
King 10.
Yeah. And King 10 is a hand, King 10 offsuit. It's not a hand I usually like, but if I'm going to play it, I certainly don't want to play it with a lot of players. I want to raise with it.
You want to raise with it, right?
Right.
That's how I normally play it, too.
Try to take control of the hands, especially in limit hold'em as opposed to no limit.
I could get you from 3,000 to 30,000.
And Maury's actually got the best hand here with ace 4. But neither one has a heart, and that might scare them both. Let's see if anybody tries to bluff at it.
I can get it from anywhere from 3,000.
And he's going to take it down with a 4. Maury takes it down with a pair of 4s there. Ace kicker.
Huh? You don't have a heart? You can have a heart.
Yeah, and King 10 offsuit, I mean, he had position on the guy, on Maury. He probably could have taken the pot away.
I
had he
think
bet.
so. I think so, yeah.
It's kind of a questionable holding already. It's funny, when you first start playing poker and you start learning the value of hands, I remember when I first started playing, King 10 was one of my favorites. I loved King 10. I was like, oh, yeah, what a monster.
That's a monster hand.
Oh, yeah. And then I started realizing, you know, the problems with the hand, how badly it got dominated.
Unbelievable you can't get it. Don't listen to all that. That tell you VS stones are very hard to get come by.
Get a limp in there from Lizette, seat
Very
6.
expensive.
And then a raise. Pocket queens there. Camille's going to raise it up with ladies.
You got a lot of callers there.
Did anybody call?
Well, you know what it was? I think Lizette had already limped in.
Right, and the blind was in.
Yeah, and then Grace actually.
Could she called it 2 bets?
Yeah, well, Pocket 4's limp called as well.
Right.
Don.
No more club.
What is it, race?
One more club. I'm not sure who said that, but nobody needs a club here.
Thank you.
And Lizette's still got the best hand by far now.
Yeah,
I mean,
she
now
fills
she's
up.
now she's got actually she's
She
got
has
the
them
nut.
drawn dead.
Yeah, they're all drawn dead. And you know what? When you have that many
Wait,
callers with pocket
But no,
queens,
if an ace, no, yeah, drawn dead.
Four flush is no good.
that's a pretty easy bet there from Lizette.
Well, the queens made the good lay down. The
Yeah,
fours still stayed in. Maybe hoping to pick up a 5.
Yeah, well, I think he figured if he caught a 4 or a
4
5,
or a 5, it would be good.
and obviously he didn't realize he was drawing completely dead. And sometimes people get lured in just by the size of the pot. They look at the pot, they go,
Yeah, ace 10
wow,
offsuit, I
for
guess.
$60, maybe I can get there. And the queens, I mean, sometimes when the board pairs the aces, it's a tougher laydown. But in that case, when you've got 5 callers, one of them's probably got an ace.
Right.
Because if she had any better, she would have raised it before the flop.
Okay, I have the chip counts. They came in at 6 o'clock, so they might be a little bit off. But seat number 1 had 2,000. Seat number 2 had 1,800. Seat number 3, Steve, had 1,600. Seat 4, Fred, had 2,200. Jim in seat 5 is 2,000. Seat number 6, Lisette, has 3,000. Seat number 7 has 2,000. Seat number 8 has 1,200. And Grace in seat 9 has 1,300.
Okay. Well, Don there, he's still reeling a little bit from his pocket 4s didn't work last time. And look at this. He raises with Queen 8 suited in late position.
And it's about the best flop he could hope for.
Yeah. Now, Steve's actually picked up an open-ended straight draw. Now, oddly, though, Fred is still in there with ace deuce. That's not a good card if you're... I mean, it is. We know it's a good card for Queen 8, but he's got to be a little scared now. And he checks it.
He checked it, yeah.
Wow. He might actually get a call here out of Fred.
With the ace high,
yeah, well,
uh-huh.
It's an odd check on the turn, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, certainly I don't think I would have checked. If it gets checked to me twice and I've got a full house, I'm going to bet. A lot of chips on the table, huh? That's about well over $10,000 on the table.
Yeah, it looks like it's closer to like 16.
16,000. That's not bad.
I was like Havasu.
And this is a $30, $60 limit game.
Oh, really?
Blinds are $20 and $30. Which makes the first bet 30, and once the flop comes out, it's still a $30 bet. But the turn and the river are $60 bets.
Pocket queens again.
Pocket queens now in the small blind.
I'm not even sure if he knows he has them yet. I don't think he's looked at his cards.
Oh, he's a good guy. He lets us see him before he even sees
Oh, he
him.
did.
Yeah.
He saw him.
He makes it 3 bets here. And that's a nice play there. When you get the raise from Maury in seat 2, and he can 3 bet it to to get Grace out. Grace has had a limping hand there with King 7 diamonds. And Maury's probably going to throw on a raise there. Let's see if he does. Nope. I think maybe he'll raise on the turn.
I don't know.
It's an odd play.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure I like the check and call method here, though. I got to be honest.
I think Maury might check. No, he's been.
I think that's one of those situations where if my opponent can't bet,
Yeah.
well, I've got a pair of aces with a jack kicker. I certainly can.
Uh-huh.
Because you know your opponent's going to bet an ace king or an ace
Well,
queen.
the opponent, yeah, but he 3-bet before the flop, so it would have to run through your head that maybe he has an ace higher kicker.
Right, but then when he checks...
When he checks again.
When he checks on the turn, you're going, okay, and he didn't raise me.
Right.
I'm going, he's got kings or queens.
Right.
You know, obviously he doesn't have aces, obviously doesn't have... And I was actually surprised Maury didn't raise on the flop just to see where he was at.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he was intending on raising on the turn. I'm not sure.
Well, he didn't.
No, he didn't. Well, he didn't get a chance.
That's right. It was check to him.
And he's going to raise it up here.
Has pocket nines.
Pocket nines. Might look like he's a little upset from last time, but he's got a real hand on the button, especially. Once again, the overcard comes and kills him. And let's see if he can get away from this one. He's had two pretty good hands in a row, but both times the overcard has come and killed him. And this time he throws it away. You're looking good tonight, I must say.
Oh, thanks. I'm not feeling so hot. I'm feeling a little tired today.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh, you can't tell, I must say.
Like I said, I'm really looking forward to going away.
Are you?
Yeah.
Need a break, huh?
I do. I need a break from
that's good.
from playing live action poker.
Playing live action while the
Yeah,
tournament
the
will do it.
tournaments are fine. I could do that all the time.
Well, $2 million in a tournament, that'll
Yeah.
be okay there.
That'll make things good.
Right, exactly. Now, seat 7 there, Camille's actually taking a break, so the big blind is in seat 8, Don. And we get a raise at a Maury with King Jack offsuit. No, I'm sorry. That's
I thought it was
King.
kings. I'm looking.
King Jack, King King.
It's not the same.
Is there really a difference? Now look at that. Don's actually picked up the nut flush draw. Plus a gut shot wheel draw. Not a bad flop or ace deuce of
putting
clubs.
a raise right here.
And Maury's going to 3-bet it here. Wow, now seat 4 is Fred's kind of been the bad luck guy here. Now, when the other guy's got the overpair, he flops top pair. And he's getting trapped in there now. He's going to need either a 10 or a queen. And there's a deuce on the river, and that's not going to help anybody, and the kings are going to hold up. Wow, that's a crying call there from Fred. At some point, Fred's got to realize that his queen 10 is just no good. And he taps the table. Shows the queen. And tosses it in the muck. I think somehow people like to show their card like, oh, this is why I was in. This is why I was calling you. I'm not
Yeah.
I'm not an idiot. I'm not stupid. I had something.
I know what you mean.
It's one of those, I know you've got me, but I've got to see it.
I'm not picking on you. Oh, it's just like pocket things. You gotta.
It looks like 2 + 2 is happy to see you back too, David.
Oh, that's nice to know.
Yeah. Let me find where they put it.
That's them to get a hand to play.
Better not have to play a hand and get
Can't find it.
That's all I've been getting here. Then when I get that big hand, it gets snapped anyway.
I think the archives are still $14.95. You can sign up for them at www.thebike.com. Click on the on-demand banner. You still get access to a Howard Lederer Hold'em video, as well as all these great nights of poker. You can check out No Limit, check out Limit. It's really a great learning tool for just $14.95. I know I played in this game, and I actually study these players all the time now.
Wow, aces. We've seen some big hands here.
Well, Maury's picked up kings and now aces. Let's see if they both hold up. Get a call out of seat 5 with queen 4 clubs.
Yeah, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he was on the show last week and tend to play a lot of hands.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that would be definitely the... and he's going to just fold it real quick, at least.
Yeah, he's done. Okay, so it was Kevin Math from 2+2 said that it was nice to hear the sort of pleasant tones of Tuchman.
Oh, well, there you go. Thank you very much. Appreciate it, Kev Math.
And me making a mistake on the forums. I was just announcing what I was told. So that was a forum that the producer's aware of that I'm not aware of. So I'm not sure if I made a mistake or there really is a forum out there that I said.
And Grace has got the button here.
He's laughing now because he told me it was wrong.
Now, Grace had to rebuy there, so she's a little quiet, obviously. What are you saying now?
Oh, Isaac likes to make me look like an idiot. He told me RPM, and it's supposed to be RGP. He's sitting here nodding, and I go, RGP? He goes, oh, yeah, sorry, RPM.
RPM, RGP, come on. Fred raises it there with ace-queen, and he's going to take it down. No callers. Button moves to Harry Potter there.
Oh, yeah.
There, George is a active 2+2er. He's going to know that you're calling him Harry
That's
Potter.
okay. It's not a big deal. I say that in the most lovingly way.
Yep.
Harry Potter's like my hero.
I'm right there with you. As a matter of fact, I'm rereading. I'm on the 4th one again. I was rereading all of them because she's coming out with her 6th book.
Well, there you go.
Uh-huh.
It's much better to have a nickname than nothing at all. Just instead of, hey, that guy over there in seat 1.
Yeah.
Well, right now that guy in seat 1's got ace-10, and he makes a nice lay down there. Now, that's right. I know most of you are sitting there going, ace-10 is not a very good hand, but he's on the button, and he lays it down, and it's a real good lay down. Now, Fred's actually picked up top pair here. Lizette Stein, she's going to raise whether she hits it or not. This is one of those where I'm gonna bet it again because I'm gonna put her on a flush draw, seeing if she tries to get a free card. But look at that, she bets it anyway. She's not even trying to get the free card. Oh, she gets there.
Yeah.
I got it.
Oh, man.
And Fred is he has literally stepped in it all night. And that style, I mean, I do like an aggressive style. It definitely will take home the chips more often than a check and call style.
I haven't played with her often, but it sure seems to work for her, at least what we've seen so far.
Yeah. I mean, in that case, though, I don't think Fred, the way I've seen from Fred, I don't think he bets unless he hits the pair.
Yeah.
And when he checks the turn, I would have liked to take the free card myself. Mm-hmm. The raise on the flop got me the free card. Take it.
Yeah.
It's not because betting it's not going to win the hand. Sometimes you got to think about why am I betting. Because basically I'm either betting to put more money in the pot, or I'm betting to win the pot right there. And clearly she wasn't going to win the pot right there. Obviously we're privy to see the hand, so a little easier for us. And everybody's got clubs. Look at this. And George actually in seat 1's the only one with the real hand. He's got ace-king. Actually, I take that down. Don has actually got a pair of 7s as well.
And a lot of clubs out there.
A lot of clubs. I'm going to venture the flop might be red. A couple red ones out there. Now, Queen 10, that's actually not that bad a flop for Ace King if you think about it, because a Jack, a King, or an Ace is going to give him the winner. And a Jack giving him the nuts. Oh.
Speaking
there it
of,
is.
He got a lot of calls there. I mean,
Yeah.
the one person had the gut shot straight draw, and then Lizette had bottom pair of sixes.
Yeah?
And then we have a pair of sevens.
Well, and everybody's going to fold now. And George takes it down. And we got a new setup here. She's actually checking the cards to make sure that the deck is right. There's 52 cards in there, and that they're all there. And no doubles.
So when you're
Obviously, that would be a bad thing.
my mom.
I actually had my... who was I talking to? Talking to an uncle of mine in England. And he was actually asking me, I was telling him I play Hold'em, and I play poker for a living, and he goes, oh, so Hold'em. He goes, I've seen that game. He goes, and he wanted to know if it was like blackjack, if they played it with more, how many decks they played it with.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's funny.
he obviously didn't know.
Yeah.
And I kind of got me a little chuckle out of that.
Yeah, when I went
funny.
I had a family get together, and a lot of the family that I hadn't seen in so long, they were impressed that that's what I do for a living. No, really? You play poker for a living?
Yeah.
And it's come a long way.
Yeah, 5 years ago, if you had said
Yeah,
that,
they
would
would
have
have
been like...
thought I was crazy.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Donating the money on Wednesday.
We have pocket queens again for Grace this time.
Uh-huh. And she's been pretty quiet tonight.
Yeah, she has. Well, the whole table's been quiet. They haven't
Yeah.
really been talking much up there.
And that's not a bad flop for queens there.
I'm shocked right now that he plays Jack 5, Jim in seat 5, and then hits a board like that and then folds it. I mean, was he looking just strictly for hearts, I guess?
Yeah, I'd imagine so.
I mean, it was the right laydown. We can see that it was the right laydown in this case, but, I mean, that is a pretty good
Right.
flop for that hand.
No, definitely, because you figure maybe ace king or ace queen
They've got
is raising
overcards,
you.
right.
That's pretty good. If I'm going to play that hand, then I'm not going to, but if I am going to play it, that's the flop you want.
Right.
Now, the only thing that's interesting here, this is Fred is trying to make a move. He thinks that Grace has got nothing, and he's trying to make a move on her with a king-jack there. Oh, I take it back. He's got king-jack of clubs. That's a king of clubs in his hand, and he does have the flush. I thought he was making a move, but now that on second thought that is
Now
the
that we
flush.
see- yeah.
There we go.
That makes sense.
A lot more sense. I was going
Yeah,
to say, I
because
was like,
you
wow.
were saying he doesn't bet unless he has something.
Well, I was about to say, I was going to eat my words there, but sure enough, he doesn't. And I was going to say, it's also odd to try to bluff Grace because Grace doesn't go anywhere.
Uh-huh.
We've seen that time and time again. It's almost impossible to bluff her out because if she's got a pair, I mean, she might call him down with a pair of fives on that board,
Uh-huh.
the whole way down. And that's just Grace's style. A lot of people on 2+2 are wondering, they're just wondering why the table talk is down. And we've actually done that tonight because the table's kind of quiet. If the table gets a little more animated, we might turn them back up. But
Right.
for right now, you'll just hear
There's
a little
nothing to
grunting and
listen to.
breathing. Yeah, exactly. And Steve hasn't played a hand in a while, and he's going to raise it up in late position with ace-8. And that's a curious play by Fred now. That's a play by Fred. He's got pocket tens on the button.
Yeah, I don't like the flat call.
I would've pumped it up.
3-bet, yeah.
A couple of reasons for that, and I'll get to that in a second. And nobody's hit that flop, actually. Tens are still in the lead.
But he can't be happy about that coin up there.
Right.
And if it was going heads up, if he had raised 3-bet to get heads up, he wouldn't have been as
Well, let's see if
afraid.
you think Steve's going to keep firing at it. I don't know.
A little more.
What's another queen? If anything, that's better.
Yeah.
That's a good bet by him.
table just got a haircut today.
And a couple of reasons why I like 3-betting it with 10s on the button in that case is you're getting a late bet from the cutoff spot. Now, the cutoff spot is the one before the button.
Right.
So Steve is betting in the cutoff spot, which could be a steal. And in that case, it was, he had ace-8, pretty weak holding. And he was pretty much on a steal there. And you really don't want to, you either want to have like 8 players playing against with pocket 10s because you want to hit your set, or you want 1.
1, right. And if he would have 3-bet there, it's a lot more likely that the blinds would have folded and not protected their blind.
Exactly. So you're protecting
2 more bets, yeah.
And plus, he's got position on the guy. And you never know. Sometimes you can actually take it away from a better hand. Steve could theoretically have pocket jacks or something like that. And if the board comes out high and he checks to him, you could bet it and you could use your position.
Take it back. Try.
Steve's going to try it again there. He's got queen jack this time offsuit. Raise again up. Gets a couple of calls. And Fred's got bottom pair.
That might be enough here.
Yeah, and it is.
Yeah, that's enough to take it down.
And like I said, Fred doesn't necessarily need a big hand, but he does need something to bet.
So last week, after one of the tournaments that I finished, Kenneth James came in here and did the last 2 hours. And
oh, great.
Yeah, I think that the audience would like to see him in here on a regular basis. He's so much fun.
Yeah?
Are you friends with him?
I know him.
Okay,
friends would be a strong word, but I know him.
I'm friends with him.
Yeah. He's a nice guy, really nice guy.
He's a really nice guy, yeah.
He was having a lot of fun in here?
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Sorry.
If you guys are wondering why George is in the pan, he's actually in the big blind. He's got their 7-3 offsuit. This is one of those, whoever bets is going to take it down.
Looks like George's going to do it.
Yeah, and nice bet by George there. I really like that play, and nobody shows strength with the king 9-10 board. You certainly don't think the 4 is going to help anybody. So, and you figure if anybody had a flush draw, they probably would have bet
They would have bet it.
Nice bet there. Sometimes you can kind of represent that you were going to check raise, but nobody bet it, so you missed your opportunity, and now you'll bet on the turn. And Jim's actually going to bet this one. He's got top pair, and he's going to take it down.
He's on a roll.
Oh, yeah, he's rushing now.
Uh-huh.
Don't get in his way. He'll take you down with him. And we can obviously see the little lull in the table right now. Sometimes limit hold'em can get like this. It's a lot of fun, but at the same time, it can be very just job-like. Very, okay, going through the motions.
Donate to me once. Once.
Was that like their hand for 3 chips, but not for 6 chips?
Yeah, I don't like him for 3 neither.
But what does she have? I didn't say.
She has ace 3. Oh, no, she didn't. I don't remember.
I'm not sure what she had. We saw it.
I
Gone.
thought it was ace 3, but that's the other player.
Yeah. And look at that. Fred's got queen deuce of clubs. And he had limped in. and then Jim raised it. But Jim's got a set of 9s. He's got a full house.
He has a full house.
Wow. It's one of those, be careful what you wish for, you just might get it.
Uh-huh.
And is he still going to slow play this?
But the hearts...
No, now
well,
he's going to.
Yeah.
Now, Steve, he thought maybe his 8 was good. Nobody bet the flop.
Right.
Figured, hey, what the heck? And look, they both think they're slow playing, and I'm curious what's going to happen on the river.
You
here.
think? I'm thinking that seat 4 is slow, has slowed down a little bit because of the hearts.
He
I
could
think
have,
he's
yeah.
only going to call here.
The heart killing his action.
Yeah.
You got a flush? No, I got better than that. And sometimes that happens when you slow play a hand. I'm not a big fan of slow playing in limit because that would actually kill your action in no limit as well. Because on the flop, you probably would have got paid off probably 2 to 3 bets.
Right.
With queen deuce. But he did get Steve in seat 3 to take a shot at it. I must say I love live poker, but there's just a buzz about tournament poker that you just don't get in live poker. Do you?
I totally agree with you. Yeah. See,
Maury's actually
has pocket queens.
Pocket queens, and he 3-bets
it.
it.
Looks like he 3-bet and then an ace king called.
Yeah, he 3-betted on the button. Didn't want anybody else straggling in there.
Wow.
And that's a good flop for queens, huh?
Well, good flop for him, but I don't know how much action he's going to get. He might get a call here, call one off.
Yeah.
But if an ace or a king doesn't hit, I can't imagine that he's going to get any more money.
Yeah, no, without a doubt. And that's one of those flops, in all honesty. Do you even take one off? If you have ace queen, you have ace king of diamonds. It's an all black with 2 club board.
You know, I might, only because it was...
Heads up?
Well, because it was 3-bet. If you think if they hit your ace or a king, it would be good.
Right, you don't put them on clubs. Obviously, it's heads up, so you figure an ace or a king are good.
Right.
Heads up, it's one of those times where you probably go, it's okay.
It's okay to call one off.
If there's 2 or 3 other players,
I mean, there
in
was
there,
3 bets and there was 1 player in between there. I mean, there was how much? 7 bets out there? 8 bets out there?
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, about $240.
Yeah.
So to call $30,
Call
you're
$30.
getting 8 to 1 if you hit your ace or your king.
Luckily, he didn't hit it. He would have been in world of trouble.
Yeah, and obviously you're thinking your ace of clubs. If the ace of clubs or the king of clubs comes, you're still good. You just got to be careful. Sometimes people do reach on you because if the ace of clubs come, the other guy has a club in his hand. You could lose the hand anyway.
Wow, a set of 4s.
Maury's just on fire. His ace is held up, his king's held up. He hits a set with his queens, and now he's hit a set with his 4s. Unfortunately,
but he can't get anybody to hit anything with them.
He's not getting paid on these. Considering the hands, he's at 2 sets, aces and kings, and he's actually hasn't won nearly as much as he could have in a normal game.
Right.
It's funny, sometimes I've played in this 30-60 game, and sometimes it plays like a crazy game. I mean, you're talking thousands of dollars being thrown around. Like I said, easily up or down $2,000 within 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it plays like this, where it's a little quieter, usually 1 raise, 1 or 2 callers. You got a couple tighter players in the game. George in seat 1 seems to be pretty tight. He's very selective on his hands that he plays. Which makes for winning poker, and it gets chopped around there. It makes for winning poker, that tight, aggressive style, but probably not as interesting to watch.
How long you been here? Really? You like it better? You didn't get along with Patty there?
Oh, I did.
10 minutes. Huh?
I did.
Did you? Nice lady, huh, Patty?
Yeah.
Huh? Got along with her, that's all.
I think I did.
I know Patty for a lot of years.
And the Jack 10-8 flop there. A couple of spades, but nobody's got spades.
Cheers.
Fours are still in the lead here. And Steve's going to bet it and take it down. Power of position. And once again, I'll let everybody know, this table's been kind of quiet, which is one of the reasons we've got the table talk on so low.
But if they're pointing out here on on 2+2 that if it's quiet, why do you need to turn it down?
Okay. No need to get smart with me, okay? Hey. Okay, they're not being quiet. How about they're being uninteresting? Is that
actually,
better?
we just had one other. Yeah, there you go. We turn it down because they're not interesting.
Oh, actually, and I just heard from Isaac, our technical expert, that the table is actually normal. They're just quiet. There you go.
So it's not turned down. Just a boring table, which happens.
Not that these people are technically boring, but hey.
They're having
Whatever.
an off night.
Exactly. Hey, everybody has one, right?
Yeah.
Ba-dum-bum. Actually, I haven't been seeing you playing a lot of live lately. You've been playing a lot of No Limit?
Just when I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm hardly here. I work 3 days and do the commentary.
Right.
Some of it. So I play a lot of live online. I've been playing a lot of live Limit Hold'em. I'm back to Limit Hold'em because that's where I seem to make the most money. The swings in No Limit are so big.
Yeah, they can be huge.
I do well in the game, but I do better in Limit. So, tournaments I do, without a doubt, better in No Limit.
Right.
That's just because of my style of play. I'm really aggressive, but in live action or ring games, Limit suits me better.
Jim takes it down there with the ace-4. Uses his position and takes it down. Oh, there, he actually limped in there. He did not raise in the cutoff seat with ace-4 of hearts. He allowed the big blind to see a flop, and then he bet anyway. Took it down. Brian comes in there. See, I would think your style would lend to No Limit. You're aggressive.
The tournament.
And game and the live play as well.
Yeah, well, live play I do well, but my swings are really big because of my style. Overall, the month I win.
Right.
But sometimes my swings, like I have 2 bad days in a row. They're pretty big.
Yeah, and we got a raise out of ace-jack. Steve's going to raise there in about middle position there, and Fred's going to call him with 8-10 of diamonds. Wow. And that's one of those things. Fred's not necessarily a loose player. I just don't think he has correct value of what the hands are worth. Like 8-10 of diamonds in a limit game is just not worth that much. And as I say it, there he goes. Flops top pair.
You think he's here so you can...
Now Don's actually flopped a flush draw. And I like the bet there. Nice raise there from Fred. He wants to see where he's at. And that's a good fold there by
Steve.
Yeah, he figures with 2 other players the same way. If the ace of hearts or the jack of hearts comes, like just there, he gets pummeled.
Check to you, sir. Just spare 10.
He's checking his flush.
Yeah, there was a raise in on the turn, so I think maybe he got scared of a bigger flush. I'm not sure. Maybe he was thinking of check raising him on the river. And Fred continues to take a beating here. He's just the whipping boy of the table so far.
That was a nice pot.
Yeah, that was actually. And 8-10 of diamonds is one of those hands. I love it in No Limit Hold'em.
Me too.
But in Limit Hold'em,
no, I don't play it.
It's a tough hand to play. Really tough hand to play. And George has picked up what I think he might play. He's got a couple of black aces.
Yeah, I think so.
He raises an early position under the gun. Now, this is... What did he just limp in there?
No,
he's the big blind. He's the big blind. Let's see how he plays it out of the big blind.
Raise it.
Oh, wow. I get a raise here out of seat 7 here. He's got king-queen. Let's see if George takes the advantage, takes the opportunity. He does.
3 bets.
Tries to knock out seat 5, and he does it well.
2 players.
Now, you might think that's actually a great flop for aces. It's actually not that great a flop when you're against king queen.
Yeah.
He's got 4 outs.
Now he has the right. And I'm thinking maybe that. Oh, he hit it.
Oh, wow. And he hits his 4-outer. And Camille has got to be dancing here. Let's see what he does here. Oh, he doesn't wait. He raises right away. Now, he did raise pre-flop, so you probably put him on. I mean, you could put him on king queen. You could put him on 2 pair.
Let's see what he doesn't put him on the straight. He's 3-betting. George thinks he has the best hand still.
3 raise.
This is one of those. I think maybe you just smooth call and let him bet on the river. What do you think? Let him bet it and then pound it on the river. There's no flush out there, really. That's certainly not a scary card. Yeah, now you raise it one more time. I like the play there.
Now finally George sits back and says, what does he have?
And with 3 aces, I'm sure he's going to pay him off.
Yeah.
And you got to replay the hand. When you're thinking this, you got to replay the hand and go, okay, what do he have? He's in late position. He raised pre-flop. What kind of hands would he raise with pre-flop? Okay, any set I can beat. Ace-Jack I can beat. Ace-10 I can beat.
Show, sir.
And king-queen he can't beat.
Well, I do have to say he took that well. He didn't throw a fit. He didn't show his cards. He didn't anything.
No, he definitely.
He just folded them and move on.
I definitely have respect for his game. That was classy.
And his demeanor at the table.
I mean, it's tough enough. I've seen people just with a pair of aces. You know, just with
get
aces.
upset.
Oh, they'll rant and rave and throw a temper tantrum like a little 4-year-old. You know, he has a set of aces, and is okay with it. Would have been interesting had the board paired and George bets out. If Camille would have still raised, I think he might have. I don't know. I'm wondering now. But.
He can't even get his cards under all those chips.
That's a good sign. I always like that problem.
Yeah.
I was actually kind of excited the other night. Sunday night I played in the No Limit 500 game, and pretty quiet night, but the table was a really good game, and I took down about a $3,000 pot. So I was pretty psyched.
Yeah, that's nice.
And it took me about, one of those like 20 minutes to start stacking the chips and put them in the order, and I'm going, all right.
I wish I had that problem. I had a bad day today.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I mean, no, I've had a good week.
Good week.
Bad
okay.
day, yeah.
Bad day, good week's okay.
Yeah.
Bad day, bad week's bad.
Hey, how many are you going to drink, Grace? Wait a minute.
Can I buy one too?
We got a full game here.
I was going to buy a bottle.
Oh, okay. Tell him I said thank you. One of the glasses? Oh, Joe? Yeah. Joe? Yeah, tell him I said thank you.
Sunshine. Dealers call him Sunshine.
What do you call him?
Not Sunshine. He's the dealer's worst enemy.
And Lizette's actually going to raise here. 6-6. She's got ace-king. She's got big slick. Offsuit here. Ace of diamonds. King of hearts. Steve's going to see a flop, though.
The cheapest.
Steve's got ace-7.
Yeah, he's in the big blind. He's just calling one more bet.
And what do you like calling with ace-rag?
I don't like ace-rags at all. I mean, only time...
If you're in the big blind, though?
Most of the time when I don't know.
I'm just not sure what you're looking to hit. Ace-rag suited, at least you got some sort of like hope.
That's what I was going to say.
But
See, I'll come in with a raise in position trying to steal the blinds. But that's about as far as my ace-rag hands go. Unless it's suited and there's 6 people in the pot.
Yeah, well, in that case, yeah, exactly.
But
Well, if it's not suited and there's like 6 people in the pot, okay, I'll take a shot at it because who knows. And he might like his hand here. I mean, the 9's paired. And look at that, Lizette. See, I mean, I like her game. I will say that, but at the same time, there's sometimes you got to look at your game and go, you got 4 players in the pot. You know, ace king high is not good. You're getting called across the board here. She's got to know somebody's got to beat. And at this point, I think he's got to like his hand. He might even bet it.
Nope, checked all the way around.
Checked around. Well, at least she didn't check this. She didn't bet the flop. Now, in that case, it actually worked out for him. I just hate playing hands where I don't know what I'm rooting for.
Yeah.
If I have ace-7, I'm going, okay, and somebody raises. I pretty much know.
You need a 7-7.
I either need a 7-7 or I need an ace. I mean, the other person, I'm going to give him credit for either raising with an ace with a bigger kicker or with a pocket pair or higher than sevens. Now, obviously, that's not always true. People can raise with king-jack or king-queen.
Right.
But in a live game, I don't know. In a live game, I always look for reasons not to play a hand. In a tournament, you've got to look for reasons to play a hand. But in a live game, you can pick your spots. I always think.
Yeah.
But as I say that, he takes it in and he stacks the chips.
And it looks like we have 2 players playing ace rag hands here, and I'm just amazed at how many players play them.
5 players.
That's actually Grace and Lizette. Both playing ace rag here. Now I will say, oh wow, look at that. It's not a bad flop for Lizette's ace rag though.
No, not at all.
She's actually flopped a gut shot straight flush draw. The nut flush draw.
3 players.
And the one thing I will say is her hand of ace-5 of hearts is infinitely better than Grace's ace-8 for numerous reasons.
Oh, yeah.
And she takes the free card. Wow. Odd, when she's got the draw, that's it. And her ace is actually the best hand.
No, the pair of 10s.
Oh, there is a pair of 10s out there. Thank you. I didn't see those. Fred takes it down. She takes the free card there where she had the draw. Monster draw. And ace-5 suited. The reason it's being such a better holding to me than ace-8.
You might have,
to me, ace-6, ace-7, and ace-8 are 3 of the worst
totally
holdings.
Unplayable, yeah.
Because there's no straight possibility whatsoever. And obviously, the real straight, it's not going to happen very often. But if it happens twice or 3 times a year,
yeah,
it's that big pot that makes a difference.
Yeah.
You know?
Pot's been raised.
George is going to raise here. Now he's going to use it.
Now he's using his position, which is one of the few times I do agree with playing the ace rags. And I was saying ace-8 never, but that's not true.
He's also playing his image in this case. I mean, he's got squeaky image. You know, he's and he's flop top pair and it's good. He's going to take it. You know, you got. I mean, George doesn't play very many hands, and when he does get in the pot, you got to figure he's got it. The one problem with ace rag that I don't like about it is, generally speaking, unless it's suited, you either win a small pot or you lose a big one. Now, if it's suited, obviously, it's a little bit different. There's more value to it because you can get that flush, and you can win a big pot there.
Want anything, sweetie?
Yeah, it's gum.
Huh? Gum?
She'll be back.
She doesn't sell gum. Yesterday when I was playing, one of the players put his leg up underneath the table and got gum on his knee.
Yeah,
that's why the casinos don't sell gum. And
Deal me next time, okay?
Yeah.
There's 2 players.
And Maury's got position and the best hand. And he's going to bet it. And we get a call out of the king 3 here. He's got bottom pair. And he's we've seen him throw away better hands, but this one he's going to call. Wow. And look at this move here. Jim is going to raise, and wow, good play by Jim there. Jim had king 3, called on the flop, and then when the turn came out with a queen, he raised him. I didn't think Jim had it in him, but he raised him there. And gets Maury to throw away. Maury only had 10-7. Gets Maury to throw it away. Nice play there.
I've tried it. I know it's very good.
Yeah, I think stepping in gum or sitting in gum are like, you know, David Letterman's like top 10 most annoying things in the world to do.
I think so.
Oh. Nothing pisses me off more than all that, like, getting a parking ticket.
Okay, I really need something.
Something, right? Anything?
Yeah, I sat and gum at the movies. I got free tickets, though. They gave me free passes, and I got the gum out. I mean, it was
Okay, there you go.
almost worth the trouble.
Well, if you do get gum on you, unfortunately, at a casino, especially this casino, they will pay the cleaning bill.
Okay, 8 rows?
Two players.
Not yet.
And that's not a bad flop for a pocket sevens,
No,
huh?
not at all.
Sir, check your bet.
All right, I'll call one off.
Woman.
Now Steve's just hoping that he hits something.
Now, this is one of those, I'm curious here. Your head's up, you've got pocket sevens.
This $40 is out of the pot. I want to buy it. I need yellows. Can I buy it? Go ahead.
I hate slow playing things, but you wonder if maybe I should slow play it. Now, look at this. Wow, he's calling here. He
Well, now he has a straight draw, so he has the 6 draw,
I can never assume.
and that's not help. Right?
It's someone else's money. It's not mine.
but I would imagine he thought that a 6 would be good, an
Or-
8 would be good, or an ace would be good, and it
A
wasn't.
3 as well.
A 3.
He's got an ace,
you're
yeah.
right. A 3
So
too.
he's got the double gutter there. He did pick up a double gutter, and he can't call with ace high. And I guess that's one of the reasons why you don't really slow play and limit hold'em, because you get paid off.
You'll get paid off anyways.
Now against some tricky players, sometimes if I flop a monster like that, I might check it once.
Uh-huh.
And then when I bet on the turn, I kind of induce them to semi-bluff, make a move on me because they think I'm weak.
Uh-huh.
But that's against us. You have to really know the player you're playing against to do that.
I play so bad. None of my friends watch me. They don't want to watch me.
They don't want to watch you?
A lot of times when I'm playing it, but again, I usually play it online, I bet out no matter what because people call with overcards.
Oh yeah.
You'll get called with 4th pair. Or, 3rd pair.
Right, and sometimes you
Bottom
won't.
pair.
Sometimes if you're playing against a player, if you don't know the player you're playing against, you don't think they're going to bluff at it at all.
2 players.
We got a raise here out of Fred, but he's got ace 3 he raises with. And Grace calls with queen 4. Now, if either one hit the top pair, it'll be good for the other person, but that's not help. Ace High's going to win this.
This side's good.
Didn't even make a move, she says. She's playing it real passive today. And so sometimes I was going to say, if you check your monster, you check it and you try to induce the bluff and they don't bluff it,
Uh-huh.
and another garbage card comes out on the turn, then you bet where they might have taken one off. And
Right.
now they go,
Something.
now they got nothing because they'll throw their 2 overcards away and not worry about it.
Uh-huh.
And Camille's got big slick on the button.
There you go.
But
He's
it's the
gonna-
player in seat 2,
Oh.
Maury, is the one that put in a raise.
I actually take that
and
back, I'm
Ace
sorry.
King is the one that...
Ace King put the
Okay,
raise in.
We've got a little
3
mix
players.
up.
Yeah.
Maury raised with pocket jacks, and then seat 7 3-bet with ace.
And Steve called with king 10 suited. Now I figure, wow. Interesting call by Steve. Now, when Maury raises in early position with jacks,
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
I mean, Maury's been playing. He's only been showing some pretty big hands.
yeah, I just,
And he had to call 2 bets cold with that.
and Camille makes it 3 bets now, and if you're with king 10, you got to go, oh, I hated my hand. And look at that. Maury kind of knows.
Yeah. I was going to say he was going to get a check call, but he might not even get a call now.
I think Maury just knows. Look at it's kind of his instincts. That's a great flop for pocket jacks, but he just kind of, he was real quiet on the flop and on the turn. And look at it, he just throws it away.
No, really.
Nice lay down there by Maury.
What?
Yeah, that was an odd play by Steve, though. Maury, king 10 suited is one of those hands, I don't like it at all, but if I'm going to come in, I want to be the initial raiser.
Right.
I certainly don't want to call a raise.
Call 2 raises. Yeah, call 2 bets.
Want to wait for you, Dick?
Then he kind of got sandwiched in there.
Wait for the...
One thing was good. I was actually, when I was out of town, I had to come back in town. I wanted to catch up on what was going on in poker.
Uh-huh.
So I went on your website.
Oh, you did?
I did. PokerBabe.com, right?
Right.
And it's very cool.
Tell you, I haven't won a third seat. I've been trying.
Trying to win that third seat, huh?
Trying. Well, I already put the money aside for all the game,
All
all
the
the
things.
tournaments I'm playing. But I mean, if I can get into it, I'm certainly going to give it a shot.
And this is interesting. This is one of those times where
3 players.
Ace Queen of Diamonds is actually a hand where I can smooth call that. I necessarily don't want to 3-bet it because I might want to hit a big hand. I might want to hit. I have my flush draw as well. And this is going to be kicker problems here for Fred.
He said he doesn't know how to, that's why.
Grace actually called that raise with Queen 10 offsuit.
Call him to congratulate him. 'Cause he won.
Nobody's got a heart.
Yeah.
Jim's got to double check, make sure, but he's just going to check and call here. Wow.
Oh, that's
That's going to shut down the action, I think.
yeah.
Queen.
I had the Queen of Hearts.
Now, in that case, obviously, I can see the cards, so it's really easy for me. In that case, though, if somebody checks to me, I like to bet it. Because if they're checking to me, they're telling me
I don't have a heart.
I don't have a heart.
Right.
Good luck.
Okay, new chip counts. Brought to you by Joe Pertini. We have George in seat 1 with 1,800. Maury in seat 2 with 2,400. Steve in seat 3 with 1,300. Fred, seat number 4, 1,100. Jim in seat 5, 1,800.
Chips.
3,000 for seat 6.
We have a
Lizette,
mark card in the
Camille,
Oh my
seat 7 has 1,600. Dawn in seat 8 has 1,100. And Grace
I know.
in seat 9 has 1,400.
So everybody's over $1,000.
Yes.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, the first 5 that times been working.
The buy-in for this game is actually only $300.
Yeah, which seems ridiculously small.
Yeah, I always think the buy-ins are always 10 times the lower limit level.
I would imagine when I play 1530, I buy in for 1,000. So I would imagine you should buy in for 2,000 here.
Yeah, I mean
That's
you
what
can
I would feel
get away with 1,500 or 1,600, and be fine.
Back to you, Jim.
And Jim's got top pair here. He's got 2 pair,
No, it doesn't matter. He'll take it.
and he's not going to get any action. Takes down. But I always find that the casinos, every casino has the same one. It's always 10 times the small in a limit hold'em game, the small bet.
Yeah.
So obviously you can do the math and figure it out. But it always seems, I mean, $300, that's enough. It kind of promotes somebody to play a higher limit before they're ready to. Because they're going, oh, wait a second, 40-80? I got $400. I can play
Yeah, I can give it
40-80.
a shot. Teach those bad lessons.
And then you realize that $400, I mean, that's barely enough for
That's
one
one hand,
hand
right.
of 40-80. And in this case, $300 is, you do the math, you get a couple of raises in there, and you're in for $300 right there on the spot.
Yeah.
I think you just can get online just,
At some point, they gotta only save so many months.
I generally like to, with limit hold'em, I generally like to look at the big side of it, the big limit. So it's $60 in this case, and then multiply by 25. That's generally a decent buy-in for me.
I mean, then you want,
No, I've signed up for it. I paid the 15.
But if you're going to buy in for more than that, it certainly can't hurt you.
Yeah, see forever.
forever. Okay, that's good.
And Grace has been pretty quiet. She picks up big slick. She's going to raise it up, get a call out of both blinds.
That's not bad. See all the hands that you didn't call.
I mean, you think maybe Steve is playing the player there? I mean, because he's calling with 8-9 offsuit there. But then again, we've seen Steve be pretty loose.
You got to substitute in order to retrieve the archive. Really?
He takes it down.
I mean, I can't. Yeah. Oh, man, that's fake. They want you to pay for it. I mean, when I go home, I can't even see it. I may have
So for that 15-30 game, I would look at it.
$15 a
That
month.
would make it out to be, what, $750?
It's a
Boy,
month.
you're 25 times
Yeah.
30. I don't know. I gave up on that one a while ago. 6 times 25 is $1,500.
Huh?
$1,500, right?
For this one?
You said 25 times the big blind.
Big bet.
Big bet.
So anything of
So
that.
25
But
times.
the big bet's 60.
So this game would be $1,500, right?
1,500,
Right.
right.
So
That's what I
15-30, I'd say
calculated.
$750 would be okay.
I know.
And so forth.
Casinos these days
Are the archives available past 1 month?
Are they?
They'll let the floor man
The
know.
table was asking about the archives being available for more than 1 month.
Tens.
Do they come off 1 month at a time?
It's the candy,
Oh.
not me.
The archives are actually...
So they will stay up, always stay up, yes.
Who was
And,
bluffing? Did they tell you who was
but you
bluffing?
have to pay $15 a
Did
month.
they tell you who was bluffing?
No. There was an important from the store.
And it takes about 36 hours to access the day's show.
Grace is sexier though.
Fred's got the button here. Jim's in the small blind. Lizette in the big blind. Once again, we are live at the bike, unscripted, unrehearsed, unedited. I am David Tuchman, and I'm here with the lovely Shirley
Thank
Rosario.
you.
Make me feel better.
Grace, it's not the start.
So
it's
I
the
got
finish
to
that
talk with the radio station, Team 1040 in Canada, when we talked about Live at the Bike.
Did you?
Yeah, so
cool.
that archive reminded me because I went back and listened to how I sounded. Didn't sound like a total idiot. You know, you don't know what you sound like, and I
Right.
haven't listened to any of the archives. I don't know. And I'm like, okay, not bad.
9-8 Deuce, couple of clubs out there.
I'm no Bart Hansen still.
No Bart Hansen, no. The myth, the legend, the
Yeah.
Bartster. And nobody's got anything here.
Gotta stop bluffing sometimes.
And Lizette's going to take it down. She actually had the best hand. And she said it.
Yeah, she said that.
You could be bluffing with the best hand. No big deal.
Raise.
Raise it.
Hey, don't forget you can play for free at www.thebike.com. We've got weekly free rolls. You can win hundreds of dollars for free. So give it a
2
shot.
players.
Also, if you find your way in Los Angeles, we are at the Bicycle Casino, about 15 miles south of Los Angeles in Bell Gardens. If you come in and you find me, I will buy you a drink. For sure. You see Mo, he'll get you a massage. You get free food. And obviously you can see the games are great here. Fred's actually picked up a set of sevens, and Grace has got nothing. But she's betting it. Grace has got nothing there. She's going to bet it. Fred's going to raise and take it down.
Archives.
You wanna go home and watch it?
It will be available for you. The archives. I'm not allowed to show it, so that's what I got to tell you. Okay?
What did you say with him?
I didn't show him last time.
You did?
No, sir.
No, he didn't.
I didn't show him.
He didn't. He just put it over there. He didn't.
I know, you put it right there, and then you...
I didn't give it to him enough to see it.
I know, but you intend to show it to him.
David, we got a really
I didn't
nice
call him at all.
compliment here on 2+2 from Jeff Rader. He said he's new to watching Live at the Bike. He just wanted to say he thinks the commentating is great. You're doing a better commentary live than most shows managed pre-recorded.
Really?
That's very nice, huh? Wow, I'm pleased.
I want to thank my mom.
Yeah.
I told her to watch it. Thanks a lot, Mom. You're the best.
2 players.
And Jim's got a suited connector in late position here. And look at that. Out of the big blind, Don is going to raise there with King Jack. And he's going to bet it. Now, heads up, that's not a bad play. I don't like to raise with King Jack offsuit in the big blind with a lot of players in the pot, obviously. But heads up against a player like Jim, it's
Not a bad move.
it's not a bad move. Although Jim made that nice move earlier. I will give him credit for that.
I know. They say the noise. Is that a board? Is that a board?
And we just recently finished our... what did we just finish? Our Stars and Stripes?
Yes.
Stars and Stripes just finished here. Great tournament. A lot of fun.
I only managed to find time to play one.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And,
You were busy, weren't you?
Yeah, and made a couple, actually 2 mistakes, and walked out of there mad at myself. You know, I mean, I'm always mad if I play bad, or if I think I played bad.
Raise it.
And the button here, we get a button raise.
You and I, you.
Jack's here.
Trying to.
And Grace,
Grace 3-bet there.
well, she doesn't need much of an excuse to raise it up and show her a big ace, and she's like, whoa, I'm in the pot, mix it up.
Man.
And she hits her queen.
She hits it, yeah.
Nobody
We have
else
10
hit.
deuce in here for 3 bets.
It's suited.
Yeah.
What do you expect?
He's he's sitting there saying, oh, man.
But look at Fred here. Fred has actually called a raise with King 10.
With King 10.
And no heart in his hand. He didn't even have a redraw for the heart.
Well, he has a draw now.
Yeah, now this is
now
one of
he
those
needs
things.
a 9.
Now, if you're Camille, it's actually.
You were afraid of the hearts, eh?
And look at that. Camille lays it down.
Hearts come, I'll back off of
Thank you, Chris.
Lays down his jacks. It's only one overcard.
Mm-hmm.
It's like he knew. A little Twilight Zone-ish there. Yeah, No Limit is those tournaments. Two things. First of all, it's all about you make one or two mistakes. It's like
Right.
rarely
No way.
am I at the final table of a No Limit Hold'em event,
Uh-huh.
and I'm talking about my mistakes. Rarely can you survive those mistakes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's tough to. Usually you're at the final table going, man, I got some good cards, and I played so well, and I called a bluff, and I bluffed this, and you did everything right.
Right. Oh, this looks like not much here. When I was trying to qualify, right before I qualified for my first one, I was playing the 33 or 3 buys. They give one seat, 250 players or something. And there was one hand where I didn't play for all my chips or something. I ended up getting close. I got $650, and I called my best friend, mentor, Steve, to tell him about how it went down and about this hand where I'd flopped certain. And he was telling me...
George takes it down.
Yeah.
Nice bet by George there. With
Good
nothing.
job. He said, you think it's okay for you to make a mistake and still win these tournaments. It's not. He really put it in my head, you can't afford to screw up and No Limit. It's once in a while you can afford to make one and still live, but even making one sometimes can cost you the whole thing.
Yeah, and it's not a matter of, you don't want to get somebody in the head, like I'm sure your mentor is telling you. You don't want to get in your head to play so tight that you're so scared to make a mistake.
Right.
You just got to realize that, when you're playing against 500, 600, sometimes 5,000 people, when you talk about the World Series,
Yeah.
you can't make those mistakes.
Right.
And it's just a matter of, sometimes that means bluffing at the wrong time or, misreading somebody. And
Yeah.
just gosh.
He doesn't get on me for that, for being aggressive and stuff
Right.
like that. What he gets mad is if I hit top pair and I'm going against one opponent and I don't try to trap and play for all my chips.
Right.
Or something like that. And I only made 300 as opposed to making 1,500 when that could have turned the whole tides on my stack in the tournament.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
And this is interesting here. Grace is going to take one off here with Jack 10. Now, I think she understands that the likelihood is that somebody does not have a king.
Mm-hmm.
But is she just calling there just for the Jack with a 10? Without a diamond in her draw?
With no diamond, yeah.
I mean, that's a... If I'm the sevens, you gotta
sevens
love your
didn't need
hand.
to get there, but,
No,
he did.
You gotta love your hand when everybody just checks there. The turn was scary now with 2 callers, obviously.
Uh-huh. He's not going to get a call. He didn't
No.
need that 7.
Weird. Somewhat passive table. I mean, we've only seen 1 or 2 people try to take a shot at it when nobody had anything. When it was, and that was Jim. We've seen George actually. George can't win when he has aces. But hey, he plays it well and he picks up a couple of small pots when nobody else seems to want it.
Yeah.
What does your shirt say?
Another thing, it's good that you're a bad loser. Because I've always been very competitive myself, and if you ever show me a good loser, it's a person who loses a lot. You want to be a bad loser.
You go to the archives.
I mean, not a bad loser to the point where...
I'm not a bad loser as far as when I get up the table. Okay, nice playing with you or good game or whatever I want to say. Sometimes I don't say anything, I'll just get up and walk away, but never, ever throw a fit. But when I'm in the car, I'm,
Oh, it's in real, it's real.
cussing myself out or...
And George is on a steal raise here. He's got King 9
That's
offsuit. It's not a hand he normally plays, but he's going to give it a shot here.
He hits.
And he hits top pair here.
2 players.
And Fred's in really bad shape now. He's drawing.
Drawn to an ace.
Wow, and he's going to represent. I'm not sure.
King 7?
Well, he has 7. He had 7s last time, so maybe he's representing 7s again. And George is not strong. His hand's not really strong enough to do anything but just call.
Yeah.
But I don't see him not calling. So, you know, I mean, Jim took a shot at that pot, but
Right.
he wasn't.
Wow.
Wow, he's calling with ace high.
Yeah.
You're looking at the cards. Do we have him right?
I was wondering. Maybe he had ace 10
no,
instead.
He has ace 9.
Oh, he called him with ace high. And I like the bet down the river. A lot of people are scared and don't bet the river. They go, you got to figure, okay, obviously the guy's going to bet king 10. If he's got king queen, he's certainly going to bet. If he's got ace king, he's certainly going to bet.
Right.
And the only hand you can't beat is king jack. And the likelihood is you probably bet king jack there.
Outside that, what else do
I would
you
think.
offer?
I like the bet there by George on the river. It's one of those where you can't bet it, I
I
can.
thought you remember.
I remember.
But I agree with you.
But I'd say just check out the archives. That's it.
Good, bad loser in the sense of, you always want to show class and get up, shake the guy's hand, or not, or just walk away. But don't have a temper tantrum.
Yeah, I don't never throw a fit.
It's hard to win these tournaments, obviously, and it's hard to win poker in general. And George is loosening it up a little bit. The table's a little passive, and he's going to start. He raised that with king 5 suited.
Yeah, hopefully you can
down.
show him what it's all about. When the players are playing tight like that and you loosen up your game a little, it can really make some money off it.
Well, good players can really adjust to the table they're playing at.
Yeah.
Grace it.
Did he say grace it? I think he meant to say raise it. He
said grace it.
It sounded like grace it to me,
that could work, too. I like that. She's gracing it with ace 10.
She has ace 10.
My favorite player.
And, wow. Well, Fred called, not in the big blind, Fred called on the button with queen 7 offsuit and hit top pair.
Not every day, just today.
And now he's got 3 queens.
You don't want it. I have it.
And it's actually queen 7 of hearts. So they were suited. There we go. And he shows the queen.
That's it, Gary. Stay away from him.
Every time he calls, I'm just going to mock my dad. Even if I have the best, I'll still mock him if he calls.
Oh, sorry.
Expose cards.
Sorry.
Okay.
Oh, Jack of spades.
Jack of spades, 9 of hearts.
You don't play that?
Jesus, unbelievable.
I'm all over that.
Stay away from you.
Yeah, tournaments are completely different animals, especially when you compare them to live games. And
It's totally different.
you really got to maximize the few chances you do have to get chips. You've got to maximize those.
So now you can't even raise anymore.
And you've got to be able to get away from hands. And somebody actually told me, they said to win a good tournament, you've got to be able to bluff. You've got to be able to call bluffs.
Oh, yeah.
And maximize the chances you got. You can't be scared to play flops either.
Right, and that's what the problem is with a lot of the players. They're afraid to play after,
Yeah.
2 players.
They're pushing all their chips so they don't have to do any post-flop play.
Now, Fred's in there still. Fred's actually got 10 deuce.
Well, he hit a piece there.
Small piece, but he's got it. And sometimes you see this happen here. Wow, and it still bets there. On the river, a spade comes out. I like the bet. Sometimes you see players do this all the time. You see him there at 10 deuce offsuit. Players come to the casino and they're like, okay, I'm going to play my A game today. I'm only going to play good cards. And then after about an hour, they just go, man, this is boring. I want to play.
Yeah.
God, this sucks.
If Doyle could do it, I can do it.
Right, I can do it with these guys, exactly.
Bother watching the playoffs?
Old 10 deuce reference.
Do you even bother watching the playoffs?
You start believing the old any 2 cards can win.
Any 2 cards.
NBA playoffs. Are you watching it? I don't even watch it.
I'll watch the semifinal.
Yeah, I think I'll watch right towards their semis.
Raise it.
Can't help yourself.
And Lizette is going to raise there. We haven't heard much from her lately. She's raising with ace-jack.
She is aggressive, but she's a pretty solid player. I mean, she hasn't been playing crap.
No, I like I said, I like her game.
Yeah.
2 players.
I like the way she's been playing. But you play with her on an everyday basis, and
No, but I haven't seen her on this level here. But I like her game a lot. I like her aggressive style. Like I said, aggressive style usually takes the chips home, you know?
She didn't want to show her the other one.
Sometimes I think she just gets fixated into, if she raises a pot,
not giving it up. That's it. I'm going to keep pounding.
I'm going to win this hand, you know? And sometimes you got to realize, okay, this is not my hand. I'm not going to win this hand.
Yeah.
You know? And sometimes you can see some players do that. You know, they get ace-king, they raise with ace-king, and they got to realize that, you know, ace-king is just ace-king. It's a drawing hand.
Yeah.
You know, if somebody else makes a pair, then you've got to hit your ace or your king.
Chop.
Let me get a chop here.
Yes, we'll need to run next.
I think George wanted to see a little flop there. He had ace-10
I gotta
suited.
say, it's probably been a lot better than it's been, right? Thank you. See you guys. We're almost on a roll. 100 yellow? Yes, sir. No problem. That's exactly what I have. Thank you, Parks.
Did you get your outlet?
Yes, he took care of it.
2 of them.
Yeah, 2 of them.
You got a new hair color?
Yeah, generally, what the winning style of poker is a tight and aggressive style. You see few pots, but when you do play, you go in there with, you know, kicking the door right open.
Shirt. That's pretty.
Oh, I don't even know.
I didn't know it was going to be in this shirt.
And we get a new dealer here.
Yeah, that's true.
And it gets limped around here.
Burgundy
Four-way
shirt,
pot.
burgundy here.
Grace is actually not in the hand there. She would have the best hand, but she does not in there. The flop is 6-4-4 with a couple of spades. And George is going to take it down. He had position. Actually, he didn't. He had small blind there. Takes it down. He bets it right out. Figured nobody had that junk.
Where's the fan today? I know. Normally I have the fan here.
Okay, 2+2 is wondering if Elix is going to announce tonight and he's coming in later.
I believe the homeless poker hold'em master, Mr. Powers, is going to come in later at 8 o'clock with Bart and announce the final 2 hours.
You know, and I'll be going home so I can go home and listen to it. Yeah, I like him. I always like the really eccentric kind of out there people. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is that what you call you, David? I like you.
I don't think
he's a little strange. David's a little
he's
strange.
definitely a little more eccentric than I would say.
Yeah, I think so.
Not a bad turn card there for Steve now. Steve's actually got an open-ended straight draw. The flop is actually Jack 10-9-6. An 8 on the river gives Steve the straight. Nobody else has anything. But yeah, I've actually played with Powers on numerous occasions in tournaments and live, and he's a fun guy.
See, I never have played with him, and I've heard that you know, at the table he's a little rude. Is he?
He is.
Yeah. I mean,
but
I
funny,
saw him
he
at the
doesn't
World.
he doesn't like profanity. I've actually not. I almost never cursed at the table, but somebody else had used profanity at the table, and he got really offended.
Really?
As if he was like a church-going guy or something.
I think he might be.
Yeah.
Yeah, because from the conversation that we had when we talked outside one time, you know, I saw him on the World Series, you know, play on the final table with Jim McManus.
Yeah.
And but I don't know. I didn't watch the whole thing. You know, I didn't think he got totally out of line, but he did cross the line a little. You know.
Hey, you know what? I don't knock him because I actually, I think Hennigan was at the table with him, and Hennigan was actually enjoying it because it wasn't getting to Hennigan, and McManus was like, it's an affront to poker.
Oh, he was bent, yeah. I have an open and straight here.
Open and straight, and nobody else is much of nothing.
Inside straight draw.
He's going to bet his draw, and I believe take it down.
No, we have the inside
wow.
straight. Yeah, he called with trying to hit the 8.
And he's still going to call. I'd like to see Jim's raise here. Let's see if he can. No.
Yeah.
He does.
Wow.
Now, this is interesting.
So
If he misses.
if he misses, he can pick up this pot.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, Fred.
With a
let's see
check
what-
and a bet. He's going to take it down.
He's going to take it down. Wow, that's 2 great moves we've seen from him.
Yeah, give him credit. That's a nice move. Hey, it's one of those cases where, if you're going to call, sometimes it pays off to raise.
Yeah.
Because you don't know, you can't always give your opponent credit for having what you think he might have.
Right.
If he's got the jack, well, then you're screwed. But if he doesn't, hey, if he's on the draw like he was, he certainly can't call you with 9 high. Powers, I love that, though. Because to me, hey, if I find, I don't want to cross a line and disrespect somebody, I always think family, never go to Southampton family. But hey, if you can get somebody else off their game, and obviously Jim McManus was way off his game.
He was off his, yeah.
If you can get somebody off his game with a little,
trash talk.
a little trash talk,
Yeah.
hey, all the power to it.
Yeah, you were gone by then.
Yeah. One thing about Powers, one thing about his game that I'll say he's dangerous is, he doesn't play conventionally.
Right.
But one thing that's really dangerous about him is that he literally was homeless. Okay?
Yes, I know that.
So he's certainly not scared. And when you're not scared to lose money, you're a dangerous poker player.
Yeah.
Because most poker players sit down and they're scared to lose. I remember actually playing a no-limit game with you once, and I remember moving in like $300 or something like that. And I said, "Oh, they're just chips." And you were like, "You play like that always?" And I was like, "Hey, you almost have to if you're going to win. If you're scared, you're going to lose money."
Was that the hand we had the same hand?
I think we
we had the same hand, and I don't remember, like, I put in a big bet, and you put in a raise, and I put in a re-raise, and you moved in. Something
like that. And we ended up chopping.
And we both had the same hand. I'm like, what the hell?
Right. We both put each other on higher hands, but to play without fear. Look at that. We got kings out of Lizette here.
And then we have a flush draw.
Ooh, and see, okay, this is...
Ooh, 2 pair, 5s and 6s.
Wow, this is a monster flop for Jim here. Look at the flop for Jim. He's got an open-ended straight and a flush draw. And this is one of those... Now, if this was no limit, all the money might even go in here.
Yeah, I would say so.
And that's not going to help... Well, that actually... Oh, I'm sorry. That
helps
hugely helps Lizette.
Yeah.
And kills Fred's hand. That just kills Fred's hand. Oh, wow. And that's not what Jim wanted to see. And the amazing thing is, Fred actually finishes in last place.
Yeah, he's...
His 2 pair are the worst 2 pair.
And Lizette did about as well as she could. That seat number 5, he hits the 10. The only card that she's actually going to get a call unless she's beat,
Right.
Unless he hits the club and he beats her.
And she doesn't know how lucky she was to actually win that.
Yeah.
She needed a 3 or a king when the flop came down. She
After
hits
the
her
flop,
3.
right.
But it can't be a club.
Right.
And it can't be. You can't get a 2 or a 7 also. But one thing about Powers, he's fearless, obviously, because he's not scared. Losing his chips doesn't scare him, and that makes him real dangerous.
Yeah.
Because the hands he plays a lot of flops and he mixes it up. But he is a class act. I knocked him out of a tournament probably about a month and a half ago. I was playing early in the tournament, and I knocked him out. And got up, said good luck to everybody, and walked away. And I gained a lot of respect from there because I wasn't sure what to expect from him.
Three deuces again here, and then...
Wow, and Jim's got top pair.
Top pair, top pick?
Yeah.
It's just a flat call there.
Yeah, let's see if he's going to... Well, now he's going to do the raise, I think. Yep.
Well, he's the one that's raising, and he has the worst hand.
Well, he must think he's good, though. He's got ace king.
Yeah.
He did raise pre-flop.
There we go. There's a re-raise.
He doesn't put the guy in a deuce.
Did you just say a deuce?
I said a deuce. Not a deuce, but not a 2, but a deuce. A deuce.
A deuce.
A deuce. I know it's tough to get away from ace king sometimes, but sometimes you just got to know your behinds.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's going
to... Can he put player in seat 4 on deuce 3? What's wrong with him?
Right, exactly. Well, that's what I'm saying. It's one of those times where I'm playing a hand. If I've got ace king there, and the guy 3-bets me, there's no way I put him on deuce
It's
3.
too hard to put him on a 3. I mean, on a deuce.
There's no way.
Yeah.
But at that point, I'm going, man, he's got to have something to beat me, though. Because what else can he 3-bet?
Yeah, but there wasn't much that could beat him.
Yeah.
I think I would have gone into check call mode there.
Yeah, okay.
Because what can beat him? Pocket aces or deuce?
Pocket aces, a deuce, pocket fours.
The flop was king, deuce, deuce.
No, but all the money went on the turn.
Okay.
On the turn, you got 3-bet on the turn.
Yeah, but there was some action on the flop.
And there was, yeah. No, you're right, you're right.
It would be hard.
It's definitely difficult to put him on a deuce, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Chips over here.
I know, there's sometimes I just like to go, I have no idea what you could possibly have.
But you must have me.
I know I'm beat. And Grace has picked up the 8, which is going to kill Lizette's 7s. It's an interesting call there by Lizette on the flop, because Grace's style, you know she's going to bet the turn if you call. You know that. So is she just calling for 7?
Yeah, I would imagine.
There are some players.
That's a monster. Queen, I said a big hand.
There are some players where you can smooth call the flop because they might not have the chutzpah to bet the turn.
Right.
But Grace is going to bet it. You know that. So.
Race.
Let's put it this way. It's raised a lot of my blinds, I think. By this time I called much, so it's got to be close to a monster. I don't. I really
A couple of big hands here.
People would say that on the contrary.
King, queen of hearts, and a couple of 10s.
The
And Grace in there with
10's just flat call. King, queen, wow, flop's a monster.
Yeah. You imagine Grace is going to get away from her Jack 7 of clubs here.
Yeah, and I would imagine, and I think that Jim's probably going to be calling because he has an overpair and a heart.
Yeah.
Queen of hearts.
Pocket tens. Ooh.
That's 2 now. They beat her.
And some people like to say, everybody gets about the same number of winning hands as opposed to losing hands. You just got to win more on the ones you win, and you lose on the ones you lose, right?
And lose less on the ones.
Yeah. I mean, that's the secret to it all. And you see Jim, I mean, it's like I really like his game at some points. He makes those nice bluffs there.
Right.
Check raises on the turn. But it pays off a little bit too much.
Mm-hmm.
And once again, I know the 10s, it's hard to get away from it. It's an overpair. He's got a heart.
The first chop in a long time.
Now, David, maybe you can explain to me because I really don't understand why they chop in a game with this amount of money in the blinds.
I think they're chopping.
They're taking $3, $4 collection or something like that, but there's $50 in the pot to cover that. In the in the small limits when it's $3, whatever.
Right. I guess their thinking is though is instead of paying, in this case it would be $3 or $4 actually. Mm-hmm. Instead of paying $4 would be the drop. It's only $1, and they're saving $3. I mean, that's the only thing I can think they're doing.
Do you chop?
I think I do chop in limit. I never chop in no limit. I mean, I guess they're thinking also in limit hold'em is. And George has got queens here, and they're good as long as a 7 or a 6 don't come.
Are you hot?
And George's queens are going to hold up here.
See, in the 6-12 limit, there's $8 in money out there, and $4 is going to go down the hole. It's silly to play for 4, but play for $4 in the pot.
I see what you mean.
But here, there's $40-something that you're playing for. If you're any kind of player, you would think you can outplay
Yeah, no,
I don't know. It doesn't seem right to chop. But
I personally am against chopping.
Uh-huh.
I think part of the reason some people chop also is they've got to sit next to this person all night.
Yeah.
And they don't want to create any like ill
Right.
will with the person.
yeah. And that's why I do in the lower limits, but it just doesn't make sense to
Yeah.
me in the bigger limits.
I guess part of my reason I've always chopped in limit and I don't chop in no limit is since I'm a professional here and I do play poker for a living, and I played a lot of my friends, I guess. You know what? You're right. I'm not going to chop anymore.
Oh,
in
geez.
limit hold'em. No, you're right. There's no reason to chop in limit hold'em.
Not in the bigger limits.
Yeah, I guess part of the reason also sometimes I play 10-20 as well.
Yeah.
And in that one,
That's borderline there.
That's borderline.
You've got $15 in the pot, $4 going down the draw.
5-10 is only $11
You're playing
you're playing
$11.
for.
I understand that.
So I guess you want to be consistent across the board.
Yeah.
So I've always been consistent in the sense of I chop in limit, I don't chop in no limit.
Yeah. Wow. Set of jacks for George.
And that's not even a terrible flop for Steve with sixes. He's only got one overcard. And he figures, hey, if this guy doesn't hit his jack, and that should make it easier for him to get rid of sixes.
Yeah.
And Fred is he
I don't
seems,
think we've seen Steve win one pot, have we?
No, Steve's had a quiet night.
I mean, he picked up one with ace-8, maybe?
Yeah,
but
ace-7, he got a
other
7.
than that.
Yeah, Steve's had a real quiet night. Steve hasn't picked up much in the way of hands, and we've seen him call raises with King 10.
Uh-huh.
And sometimes that happens, especially when your hands you're getting are kind of not up to par. Once again, this is a 30-60 Hold'em game. We are live at the bike. We are unscripted, unrehearsed, and unedited. I am David Tuchman, and I am here with Shirley Rosario.
You set up the others. 7. Raise it.
And Maury's going to kind of a steal raise here with ace-4 suited in the late position. Gets called by two players.
Maury's in the unfortunate position that when he's in the still position there, the players in the blind are absolutely going to protect no matter what. I think
Yeah.
any two cards that they
Credit
have.
Jim, oh yeah.
So
In this case, Jim's actually got an open-ended straight
he's
draw.
not picking up a pot uncontested.
Wow. Look at that, though. Fred is going to take it down with a pair of tens. No, he's definitely not going to. And that's what one of the most important things about poker. When you sit down, get to know the players you're playing against.
Uh-huh.
Who can I steal from? Who can I not steal from? Who can bluff? Who can't bluff? Generally, I find that most players think people bluff more than they do. And generally speaking, when somebody bets, they got it.
Right.
Generally.
Yeah.
And generally, when they don't bet, they don't have
When
it.
I first started playing poker, and I thought, I think this has something to do with me being a girl, is that I didn't want some guy pulling something over on me. So I always thought people were bluffing and always called a lot more than I should,
Right.
I've learned a lot since then. But I always thought, they were bluffing or trying to make some kind of move.
Right. I think it's important to check your ego at the door when you walk into a casino.
Absolutely.
You have to remember that's like an egoless game.
Yes.
You can't go, that guy over there, he's trying to get me. I'm going to get him. And then when he raises your blind, you go, well, I'm going to defend. Suddenly you look down, and you're like,
why?
Well, I got Jack 4.
Yeah.
What am I doing in this hand?
Why am I doing that? Yeah, Steve, when he was teaching me, he said the same thing, that he thought it was because I was a girl, because he remembered Kathy Liebert. He's pretty good friends with Kathy Liebert. Going through, the same thing, that she was calling a lot more than she should in situations because she didn't want a player pulling something over on her.
Right.
And Kathy's one of the best tournament players. Probably, definitely the best female tournament poker player.
Yeah, well,
I mean, she's
if not the best
incredible.
one. Yeah, she's a really good player, actually.
Yeah.
And Steve's got a flush draw here. Let's see if he bets it. He's a little gun shy, I think.
Yeah. Well, he hasn't hit anything.
Yeah,
He's like, I
hit
can't make anything.
Well, he bets here. The pot's small enough that Fred might let it go. But no. Fred's going to call with ace-jack.
if Steve misses and bets,
well, he didn't
made
miss.
it. He might have been able to take it regardless.
He might have, yeah, had he fired. Look at it. Well, actually, we saw him call with ace-9 before. Ace-high.
Ace-high, you're right.
This might be a value bet. Look, he calls with ace-jack.
Ace-high.
And that's one of those, he kind of talked himself into it. Sometimes you can look at the board and go, well, what could he have? Okay, sometimes you start the hand and you go, okay, he's got clubs. I'm going to call him with ace-jack.
Yeah.
And then at the end, when the club comes, you go, okay, there's an 8-9 out there. Maybe he had jack-10.
Yeah.
You kind of like switch your tune. You go, well, what could he have that I could beat? And that's what you kind of convince yourself that he had. Now, if anybody wanted to come down, you'd know Fred, seat 4, do not bluff him.
Yeah.
But bet for value, for sure.
You gonna rob me again?
One thing I've noticed with women, tell me if you think it's true or not, because I noticed it, I can see in Lizette actually, is some women almost overcompensate for the fact that they think, okay, I'm a woman, guys are going to try to run over me. Well, you know what? I'm going to be even more aggressive. Have you noticed that at all? I've noticed that.
I think, I run into that occasionally, but I don't think it's in women's nature.
Okay.
In general, to be really aggressive or, to play poker anyways. You know,
Right.
I mean, it takes a rare type of woman to even play poker, let alone be really aggressive in poker. But yeah, I can see what you mean. Probably. I'm probably a little bit borderline that.
Anyway, I know I'm going to win this part.
All right.
Okay.
I don't care.
I know that.
I mean, I've played with you. I haven't noticed you being overly aggressive.
Well,
I've noticed you being aggressive to the point where it's good and dangerous.
I was going to say, I don't know if I'm overly aggressive, but I'm definitely more aggressive than most players, and usually almost always the most aggressive player at the table.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's that's not the same thing, I guess, being overly aggressive.
Two-handed here. And Lizette's got Fred badly dominated here. He's actually, almost drawing dead. He needs runner, queen to win this hand. I mean, he does have a straight draw.
Runner, 10-jack, yeah.
Yeah, he does a straight draw.
He has to have a runner.
But he's in bad shape. I guess the same thing they were saying that, you thought that guys are trying to run you over when you first started playing, so you'd call too often.
Right.
Well, I'd extend that to like somebody like Lizette, where she might think some guy's trying to run her over, so instead of calling, she goes, well, I'll raise him back.
I'll raise him, yeah.
And obviously, Lizette, I actually really do like Lizette's game. I mean, she's very aggressive, and her hand selection's pretty good. She played there ace-9 on the button, and the only person who entered the pot there was Fred, so
I would have came in for a raise.
Yeah, exactly.
That's almost like raising.
Right, that's not much. You can't give him much credit there, and she did raise. And Jim's going to see a flop here he's limping in with King 4 offsuit.
3 players.
And he has the best hand. All the other players have a queen.
Yeah.
But we have 2 players.
Queen deuce. And leave it to Grace to bet it. And he's going to call. Now, you saw him earlier folding really quick. But here he's got queen 4. And look at this, the case deuce comes out.
No, queen deuce.
You gotta be kidding me. You didn't call?
Grace is laughing.
Yeah, she's like,
She
you gotta
knows.
be kidding me. Yeah, because I had the same hand.
Look at that. Leave it to that. Only 1 queen left and only 2 deuces left in the whole deck. Yet queen deuce wins the pot. And king 4 is one of those hands. It's kind of like a top-bottom hand with especially if it's not suited. I'm not quite sure what you're looking to get. When you have king 4 offsuit.
Yeah.
Right there, and then I'll check raise you.
Well, by
people can
limping,
say-
he's actually looking to hit a flop. He's not looking to steal the pot, so he's actually looking to play, hit. So he's looking to hit a king, I guess.
And here he's got king 5, so he's consistent. I will give him that. I just don't see any equity in the value. There's no value in the hand, really. And people at home can say, well, what if he hits 2 pair? Well, that's any 2 cards.
Yes.
And the odds of hitting 2 pair, I'm not sure what they are, but I know it's less than 10%.
I was going to go for a check raise and nobody went trying to bet. Huh? No, I just wanted to win it right there. A check raise, it's hard for people.
Hey, if you have any questions or comments, please email us at liveatthebike.com. We do read them.
But at least I know if I bet the flop, the bike's going to fall anyway.
And depending on what you say, we might even answer them.
bouncy cards. Huh?
I know. Slippery.
He's bouncing them on purpose.
Super slippery.
Fred's going to raise it up here. For him to raise it up, he's got ace king here.
So I should pay no more than 12 for this?
And Jack 8 suited, not a very good hand no matter what, but you definitely want to have a lot of players. You don't want to get a heads up.
Well, you don't want to call a raise with it. I mean, he called 2 bets cold there.
And he's picked up well, not much actually. Well, there you go.
There you go. Now he picked something up.
I was trying to figure something he had there. But no, he got his jack. And wow, he's going to take it down with a jack.
You're lucky.
And look at that. Fred's going to call with ace king.
7 to 10%, 12%. Lucky.
Yeah, but that's based on the price now. But you get to
And wow, that's just.
those days, they were much.
It's really tough to be a winning player when you're constantly calling people with ace high.
Obviously, the price then.
And we see Fred's stack obviously diminishing as we see there as we go along. Jim in seat 5, he's kind of like the classic. He's like a lot of players I know where they'll play relatively good, until they get up what they think is a bad beat. He lost those pocket tens. He lost when he had the 10-4 with the straight draw and the flush draw. And now he's kind of like, well, that's it. I'm going for it,
Mm-hmm.
And you see now he's playing every hand. His last 4 hands, like King 4,
Well,
King 5, Queen 8.
He plays a lot of hands.
I'll show you the cards.
He flops top pair.
Yeah? Nobody's got clubs here. There are, it's a Queen 10-6 flop, a couple clubs. There's a 4 hearts on the turn. There's no help for anybody. Maury's also got top pair. He's got Queen 3. And he's going to have kicker problems. Unless the board pairs. I mean, a 10, actually. Oh, and that's not going to do it. But that does. Now, Fred's, believe it or not, there's Steve in there.
Steve actually ended up picking up the pot.
Yeah, well, he had no
missed the straight
draw.
Yeah, he missed the straight draw, but got there with the king.
Mm-hmm.
Open and straight draw.
And Steve wins a pot. Break open the champagne. Come on, kid, smile.
No,
It's his first pot of the night.
I know.
Pop open the bubbly.
Fan back here, but today they didn't put out the fan. The lights, the lights are so bright.
And under the gun, Jim's going to come in there with. Well, he limps in. He's got king,
He has
queen.
pictures, yeah.
You want to see the multi-pan should play and
He's not discriminating,
See, yeah,
Pretty much any 2 cards.
But that's what we're talking about. I mean, if he comes in and, he's going to come in, he should come in raising.
Well, that, under the gun especially, yeah.
Yeah. He'd try to limit that field and play heads up.
And he's going to take one off. Hope he hits the top card there. Everybody takes one off here. And Fred's still in the lead here with ace-7.
Now, if Jim puts in a raise here, he might pick it up. He's just going to call and try to hit. So he needs to hit a queen or a king here. Oh, he did raise.
No, he did raise. Okay.
Okay. Let's see if he can pick this up.
This is one of those raises that might work, although... Yeah, wonder. Oh, Fred does lay it down.
Yeah. He is managing to pick up a couple pots, but...
he's one of those players, and I've seen a lot of players on the site. I've seen a lot of players like this where I like 60% of their game.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody can say at home, well, who cares if I like the game? In the end, but just in terms of winning, I can go, well, this guy, he's almost there.
Yeah.
If
he changes hand selection a little bit more, then
his pre-flop play is where he needs help.
Yes.
Which is the easiest part of your game to fix.
Normally,
You buy any book, you can learn pre-flop play real quick.
Right.
Most people that learn pre-flop play have a lot of problems on the flop, on the turn, and so forth. But and Jim's picked up a flush draw. There's a king 5-3 flop. He's actually got a straight draw as well. And he's a 4 for a straight or any heart and give him the pot. And Don has got top pair.
He hits the 4 and the heart.
There's overkill for you. And one thing about Jim is he raises so much on the turn that he does get paid off.
Uh-huh.
This is one of those cases, if you got King 10, you got no heart in your hands. You know, man, there's not many hands you can beat.
Right.
You winning?
And he takes it down. Nice play.
You cannot take anything away from her except poker.
So if you're for an aspiring lady who wants to play poker,
Yes.
what would you say is the best way to learn? I mean, in terms of, is there a specific style that might be better for a girl or a woman?
What I mean, I think just like any player, I mean, it's going to be an individual thing. I mean, aggressive play might work with some women and not for other women, but
Right.
I think as women we do have a little bit of an advantage that we can learn, because you asked about how to learn how to play. Because men are eager to help you.
Wow, look at this. We got ladies
Yeah.
starting to. Maury's got pocket queens here, and Fred's got aces. And the flop is King 6-4. And wow, see, I do like Maury's game. Maury just kind of senses when he's beat, and he throws his hand away. He knows Fred's not bluffing, and he throws the hand away with no problem.
You threw ace king?
And look at that, we get a visit from the Bartster. And I think we're going to see Bart and Mr. Powers very soon, for those of you watching.
Okay.
Jim.
Where's it?
Enjoy your egg roll.
And once again, don't forget to sign up for the archives. You can sign up for just $14.95. You can get this show, all the past shows, access to them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And you can sign up at www.thebike.com. Just click on the on-demand banner. Plus, you get the access to the Howard Lederer video, which is kind of cool.
Have you listened to it?
I have not listened to the Howard Lederer video. So.
Yeah, me neither. Well, I
wish I
haven't.
could say.
I haven't listened to any of the archives.
I have seen some of the archives.
Yeah.
And, it's a really good learning tool. Believe it or not, it's kind of cool. I've watched the 500 game numerous times, and I've watched the 30-60
Well, you
game
play
a
in
couple
that
times.
500 consistently, so that would be a good thing for you. You know,
Well, yeah.
players.
No ways, I'm sure you would have called me all
I'd
the
almost
way.
feel like it's cheating, but everybody's got access to it. So
Right.
it's like, but I mean, I literally will go home and take notes on some of the players that I'm playing against.
Yeah.
And I'll see how they play, and I'll go, okay.
He just calls her.
And you look for patterns, you look for tells. And,
Right.
This check raised me a few times.
I mean, I'm playing for thousands of dollars. I think I'd be crazy not to use it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then I pouted.
And then you pouted after the check raise.
So what I was saying was that the men, you know, are so eager to help. I remember when I first started, and Steve, you know, just took me under his wing and taught me, or still teaching me everything he knows. But when I first started playing tournaments, I mean, I had men the master help me. I've had, who have I had? Mel Judah. I had some really great tournament players talk to me about, you know, strategies and things like that. And
King not good?
I'm sure I could probably name about 20 more.
That's really cool because, being a guy, most guys are not eager to hey, let me help you.
Right.
No.
You're not going to go up to, you know, one of the top
Right.
people and they're going to help you, you know. But if I ask them a question like, I saw this one Canadian, he's a professional player, his name's Greg, and asked him about a super, you know, because he's really consistent at winning supers. I said, okay, give me one tip before I go in and play. He's like, okay. He gave me the greatest tip.
What was the tip for supers?
Yeah, I'll tell you later.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, he told me because I'm me, you know, I don't want to share with
Everybody.
you know, 10,000 people. But
Really?
I'll tell,
Okay.
yeah, but I'll tell you.
I think everybody's home, breathless, you
Yeah,
know,
saying,
waiting.
oh, what was it? What was it?
The secret to it all. George there at ace jack against a couple of eights there. Once again, not a terrible flop for ace-jack, if he knows he's up against eights. He's going to take one off.
Si Mary Sue. Si, hindi, uncle niya pala yun. Si, what's his name?
And he throws it away.
He's done
Nice
with
bet.
it,
And
yeah.
look, Steve wins another pot.
Uncle niyo?
So at the 8 o'clock hour, me and David will be out of here, and we'll be switching to Bart and Elix, right?
Yeah.
There will be about a 5-minute break with table talk while we all switch out.
Right.
I'll go home and listen.
Yeah, I will say it's interesting. When my wife started playing, and she plays sporadically, and if my wife is listening, just want to shout out to her.
Uh-huh.
Tell her I love her. And but when she started playing, she really, I mean, a lot of guys would talk to her, and obviously, I'm sure their motives were different, but in the same sense, you know, she used the information they gave them.
Right.
And it was really helpful for her.
Right.
And Jim's in the lead here. He's going to bet it and take it down, I think. He does. If you're going to play that kind of hand, like Queen 7, you got to be a little more aggressive and bet it. But it was funny. I mean, I'd been playing poker for a year or so, playing tournaments and so forth before my wife actually ventured in.
Uh-huh.
Actually, the funniest thing is when she first started playing Hold'em, it was because some guy gave her $40 and said, "Oh, come play with us."
Oh, really?
Yeah, and she looked at me like, you know, is it okay? And I was like, yeah, sure, take his money, I don't care.
Yeah.
There you go. I can't even call.
And she played 4-8 Hold'em
Uh-huh.
down at the Mandalay Bay, which is where, you know, the first time she played.
Yeah. And did she win?
She did not win.
She
She
did
won her
turn the
first
40 into
She actually
400?
turned the 40 into like 130, which was so
Okay.
exciting for her.
Yeah.
But then she lost it, and then the guy gave her another like $30, $40 to play with.
Oh. Wow, that's nice.
And certainly didn't happen to me.
Yeah, no, we're lucky like that.
And it's interesting. Now, Steve raises. He's got top pair. So he raises, and I like the raise. He's got to see where he's at.
Now he's going to get raised.
Right. The only problem with check raising there is now what do you do? Because obviously you've got to bet the turn. And, oh, wow.
Oh.
And that's got to be the card that makes you sick if you have tens.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
And that's a bad beat.
But he didn't show it, neither. He almost did.
He almost did. He wanted to.
He did.
Thank you.
Yeah. Can you imagine a guy walking into the casino and some guy going, "Hey, how you doing? Come over here.
Yeah, come over here.
Let me show you how to play. Let me give you some money."
Uh-huh. No, not going to happen.
Not gonna happen. Hey, if you're a poker player, you know you got to use everything you've got.
Right.
You know,
Right.
know how the players see you and use it. And Steve's not even going to try to steal on the button. Steve, he's at a little rush here. He's won 3 pots.
Yeah.
In the last 20
Look
minutes
out.
or
He's
so.
dangerous now.
Yeah, well,
You know, when I first started, I definitely used the girl thing to my advantage. You know, the flirting at the table or the dressing sexy, but it only goes so far. You know, when you're a regular, you know, I work here and I'm a regular on the tournament circuit. They know me now.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
it's just not cutting it anymore. You know, sometimes you'll find a new player where it'll work, but for the most part,
generally speaking, when you're playing for
they're
thousands,
over it. Yeah, they're over it.
They're playing for thousands of dollars. They go, okay, you're a girl, you're cute, but you know I want to win money.
Well, no, but even though they were playing for a lot of money way back when, you know, because it was new, they still would gawk and
they
I
kinda
can't
like-
pay attention. And,
Did they
you know,
kind
would
of figure
tell me
you
that.
weren't a threat?
Yes.
Okay.
I can't pay attention.
And Fred here picks up his top pair. Let's see if Jim can get rid of his eights.
No, he can't.
And this is a time where, like I said, I like Jim's game, but you know that's just okay. And he gets rid of it at least.
Only one more overcard. There's only 3 overcards now.
And some people like to take one off on the turn on the flop.
Uh-huh.
I'm not a big fan of it.
Yeah.
Unless you think the guy is full of it.
Right.
Because generally speaking, you do not have the odds to call for one of your 2 eights.
Right.
When you're going for a pair there. Sometimes obviously you might have the best hand, and you've got to read it that way as well.
Okay, the 8 o'clock chip count here. Seat number 1, George has 2,200. Seat 2, Maury has 2,000. Steve in seat 3 has 1,500. Fred in seat 4 has 1,200. Jim in seat 5 has 1,400. Lizette has 3,000. Seat 7, Camille has 1,300. Dawn in seat 8 has 800. And Grace in seat 9 has 2,000.
Let's compare them to last hour.
That's what I was just going to do.
Yeah. See how everybody's doing.
So we see that George went up $200 since the last hour.
It's not a bad hourly rate, huh?
No, and seat 2, who named David?
I don't even
It's Maury, sorry.
Oh, Maury has gone up 200. And
in the pot, I don't even
seat 3,
fight.
Steve's gone down 100.
Just mock the hand.
And seat 4 has lost 1,000 in the last hour. That was Fred. And seat 5, Jim has lost 600 in an hour. Seat 6, so that stayed the same.
Online?
Seat 7, Camille has lost 700.
I said, do we have a board?
And seat 8, Dawn has lost 400. And seat 9, Grace has won 700. So it looks like she's the big winner. And then seat 1 and 2 have won.
Yeah.
Some, a little.
And then a couple of losers, and everybody else pretty much the same, huh?
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like the money's adding up quite, right?
No, that's what I was just looking at. Yeah.
It's very frustrating, I know.
But I'm sure it's right.
Well, people are ordering food.
Oh,
maybe
this was
they're
2
tipping
hours.
a lot.
Oh,
I screwed up.
It is.
That was a 2-hour difference.
That's 2 hour difference. Okay.
That's a 2-hour difference. The other one I had folded up here.
Well, George is eating food. He might have tipped a lot. You never
That
know.
makes a lot more sense because I thought that seemed kind of strange that Steve actually was losing over the last 2 hours, but he is winning.
Yeah. Okay. There you go.
Yeah, there we go. That makes more sense.
And we got a flop here. We got Ace 3 Queen, couple of hearts. Nobody's got a heart really. I mean, Steve's got a 7 of hearts, but he's folding very quickly here. And actually, seat 1 George is not in hand. Let me throw it away there. And that's going to give both people a straight. It's going to give Grace a straight, and it's going to give
Seat
Camille a
7.
straight.
Camille a straight.
Camille a
Yeah.
straight, yeah.
Sure is.
And neither one's free rolling on each other, so this is a chop pot.
Yep.
Sure is.
Shit, you don't have a Jack 10 now.
This will be our last hand
leave it right
when
there,
we
folks.
switch out. Yeah, take a
Well,
small
that's a
break.
good hand. Well, we got a lot of money going in the pot, and it might be exciting for them, but for us, we know that it's money's just coming back.
Right. And Sheila, the dealer, is doing really smart things. She's just leaving the bets in front of them, which is a
Right.
really good move.
Kind of hoping
Yeah,
that Jack 10.
I think this is going to be a chop pot. A lot of times you see them pull it in the middle, and then they have to waste so much time. And she's a great dealer. Yeah.
Yeah, she is.
Okay, well,
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Once again, live at the bike. This was David Tuchman, and I'm with Shirley Rosario.
Yeah.
And
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you. Lines, please.
Gracie, I thought you made aces and kings.
Trust me, I wouldn't waste an extra penny after the third race. I'm done. I'm done with my hand. Yeah. I'd be done after the third race. What threw me off was your 3-bet, that's why.
Huh?
You 3-bet that pre-flop, so that threw me off.
Well, I wanted some action. If I get some action with that hand, and I'll be in good shape. I don't like the flop. I like the turn, though.
I know, perfect turn for our hands. We both didn't. He didn't, I didn't. Oh.
We had fun anyway. Didn't we?
4 players, like, dear God, please don't tear the board. I'm thinking he's I
You don't like the heart either, did you?
I know, but I said, you know what? There's no way you put in that many bets. You know, if you're drawing two hearts, you know, if you had Jack,
Set.
yeah,
Bigger
but yeah,
set.
sets. But the thing is, you know what? You could easily have Jack ten of hearts and be free rolling. You know what I mean?
But that's why I stopped. I said maybe Jack kind of diamond over there. I said shit. I said let him stop.
And I'm like, I'm thinking the same thing. So I hope then we have spades and clubs.
Yeah.
the red ones were there, the black ones we got.
See the thing is over there. If the king don't come on the turn, I win the pot.
Oh, that's true.
Because I keep betting.
Yeah, that's true.
I got unlucky again, Gracie.
But you won't make that kind of money from me, though. I'd be gone.
I know.
120 is the max you can make from me. You know, the 3 bets and the flop. That's it. That's why I think I said, I hope he's not on Jack 10 of hearts. When you raised me on the river. Like, dear God, I hope it's not Jack 10 of hearts.
I'm saying please don't put a diamond in the river. Because I figured you have a Jack 10 of diamond.
I was actually more scared about the board carrying. I said, nah, but I said, I didn't think you'd put the kind of action pocket aces.
Raise.
You can't win. Put your face there. Let them see your face.
I know.
They might let you win if you let them see your face, Gracie.
Let me win.
3 players. How are you doing?
Hours a day. He's there. I mean, every time he's there. From time to time, he has 48-hour sessions.
3 bets.
He has a really obscure schedule. He'll sleep for 18 hours. 40 hours.
Drought's over. Now stop it.
Thank you.
Pardon me?
The drought's over.
All right. I thought I went through 1,400 in the crowd.
That's my knowledge.
These are only chips. They only count for money when you leave. Otherwise, it's a community. It's a community money. Gracie knows I can play 3 days straight. Right, Gracie?
Exactly.
I used to be able to, not
No.
anymore. Not anymore, Gracie.
Alis ka na?
Hit and run?
I know. Grace.
He's gonna get another.
Raise.
Yeah. I'll take your spot.
You just want to come close to me, that's all.
I want to be right next to me. You want Hassan Libo, huh?
3 players.
Tell them where you got it.
Oh my God, he called. What did he have? What did he have? He exposed.
I guess he did see him.
Yeah,
Sure.
they
Yeah,
probably.
please. Thank you.
Can go out, Gracie.
Oh, you got me beat again?
I got you beat. Fine.
I have a big hand too, that's why.
Well, I'll check you.
I have King 10. Oh, God. That is a nice.
Gracie, stay away from him.
I know, that's why he bets into me. I'm like, okay.
Don't you learn the
Listen.
lesson?
I know, I've learned. That's it. I'm staying away from you, young man. Forever. Forever, that's it.
Ever and ever?
Forever and ever. Uh-oh.
I'll call you back. I'm leaving now. I'm leaving. I'll call you back.
4 players.
Larry. Yeah, Larry.
I'll try one more time.
Yeah.
Oh, God, don't call one time.
I
Don't
feel
call.
sorry for you, Gracie.
Oh, God.
I feel sorry for you.
I have big hand. I have a big hand. Please don't tell me you made 2 pair. I have a big hand.
No, I don't beat 2 pair. If you show me 2 pair.
You can't beat 2 pair?
I cannot beat 2 pair, but I can beat 1.
No, oh, you can beat 1?
Yeah.
Can you beat this? Okay. Oh, humbala. You're
Chicken
Yeah.
Gracie.
I'm
Chicken
scared. I just
Gracie.
don't want him to call me. What?
Chicken
Wait on the
Gracie.
river. I wonder if it was it. Huh? Straight? I don't care anymore. This oh. Yeah, I'm moving, sweetie. Deal me out.
Okay.
I know. I give up. I want to show my
Take your blind there, sir, then?
See how scared she is? She's showing the top pair with a pretty good kicker, too.
She said sandali lang, ha?
She's very scared of you.
I'm scared of you.
Anybody care for seat number 9 once this young lady vacates? Anybody want seat 9? Okay.
Are you leaving, Grace?
I'm moving to seat 6. I want to get as lucky as this young lady over there.
Raise.
Give this to Lisette, please. Thank you, sweetie. Malang lucky chip. Buhat to. Tingin lucky chip para baka manalo naman. There. See, I have to beg for a lucky chip.
2 players.
Yes, sir.
Raise.
Yeah. Okay, what were your initials?
Any call?
That's great.
Oh, I
Queen high straight.
Thank you.
Go ahead and manually shuffle this
Yeah.
time. Okay, this gentleman's going to take the big blind here. Okay, he's going to
Are
wait.
you gonna wait?
Should I wait?
Get in there. Take it.
Take it? All right, I'll take it. Only because, you know, I know you want to save as much money as possible.
I like to play as many hands as possible, especially my blinds.
Okay, where's my lucky?
Call with just about any two.
Yes, yeah. You didn't deal me in, I said.
Oh, I didn't hear you, hon. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
She's a good customer. Do whatever she says.
Yeah, like I said, if I would have heard it, it would have happened.
Especially when
And
she
we are
drinks
back.
wine.
My name is Bart Hansen, and tonight I am joined by a special guest for the second time joining us, Alex Powers. How are you doing tonight, Alex?
Oh, I'm pretty good. I just walked in here, man. I'm pretty happy tonight, man. I'm trying to get to the World Series. It's only 30 days. It's getting pretty exciting.
I
you know
know.
what I'm
It's
saying?
about a month away before that first event that I know I'll be playing in, which is the casino-only event. Of course, tonight we're doing 30-60 limit hold'em. The brown chips are $10 chips. It's a 3-6 chip structure. So we're talking about hundreds of dollars in each pot, Alex, sometimes thousands.
You know, in these games here, they gamble more. You know, it's not like No Limit. You know, where you can't lose all your chips at one time.
Well, they think it's just one extra bet, right? You know?
Yeah, right. So the game gets a little more exciting.
Looks like seat 4 actually has the same hand as seat 8, but he has the heart. And a heart comes on the river, and he's going to make a flush.
Yeah.
That's Fred in seat 4.
But he can't bet. He's just going to turn it over.
You're lucky.
Okay. And looks like we have a new player in seat 9. It looks like Grace has moved over to seat 6 right there. And I apologize again if we get some of the names mixed up.
Looks like seat number 5 is Jim there. We're familiar. Seat 6 is a Grace. Lisette looks like she's moved.
Yeah. So you're gonna post
Seat number 7 is
I post
Camille? Samil Lemuel? Seat number 7? Yeah. Seat number 8 is Dawn, and we're going to get a new player in there for seat number 9. Anyone that wants to ask Alex Powers questions about any topic, and I was talking to you about this. Yeah, I was talking to you about this earlier, Alex. When we had you in here the last time, I hadn't even seen the card player article that they had about you 2 articles ago, and had some interesting questions that I wanted to ask you. So if anyone else wants to ask you questions, I know normally we have an email address, live@thebike.com, but the best way for anyone out there to ask Alex questions is to post up on 2+2, the forum board. And I'm going to go into how you can do that at the end of this hand, exactly how you can do it, and I'm going to continue to repeat it through the show so people that are unfamiliar with that board can ask you questions, Alex.
Here's an interesting situation, huh?
Looks like the button's bet there with an ace-8 suited. Seat 9's called with an ace-10 suited.
Nobody's got anything, and everybody's bluffing. Who's going to be most courageous?
Well, look at this. Now Seat 9 just bets right in with a gut shot. He had called the flop.
And he's got to lay it down. If he doesn't lay it down, then what?
An ace-8 lays it down.
He's got to lay it down.
Yeah. Now, Alex, 2+2, if all those of you out there that want to ask Alex questions, you can go to 2plus2.com, and that's spelled out. You want to click on the forums link, and then you want to click on World Poker Tour and other televised tournaments, and that will get you to the Live at the Bike official thread that are started by our good buddy Kev Math from Syracuse. You can do a quick little registration there in your name, and then you can start posting up questions or anything about the show that you'd like. Again, we apologize. We were having some technical difficulty with our email address. So this is the best way to get Alex questions, and I'm going to continue to go over this throughout the show, how to do this. Looks like we got limp.
Looks like everybody's going to live with the kind of hands they got.
Yep.
But that creates a lot of action in these limit games.
Oh, absolutely.
Because the flop tells everything.
Well, in this particular flop, it doesn't look like anyone has much of anything here. 8-3-7 rainbow.
So did somebody make a move?
Seat 5 bet with an ace-9 of clubs. He looks to have the best hand here, though, with ace high. And seat number 4 is going to call with a king-10 offsuit. So it's ace-9 of clubs against king-10.
Oh, and he catches the king.
Catches the king. Look at this. But it's going to give ace-9 a flush draw.
And so there's going to be a lot of gambling here.
Let's see if seat 5 raises it up here with the flush draw. And that's what he's going to do, Alex. He gets bet into with the king. Ace-9 raises it up with the flush draw. Let's see what the river comes. River's at 3. It's not going to help the ace high with the flush draw.
If he bets, he's getting paid. He's going to get paid off. Oh, he's in trouble.
Look at this. Ace-9 bets.
He's in trouble.
And king is going to take it down. King-10 check calls.
Yeah, he's in trouble.
Oh, pretty aggressive play there.
That's one thing about the limit games. It's more aggressive, and you have more because you can't get hit all in one hand. So
right.
In a no limit game, when a guy puts his chips in, you don't want to be making that draw.
Right.
You know?
Right.
But in a limit game, you can still recover if you get hit or whatever the case may be. So you kind of make that little call.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and again, a lot of times people don't realize that really the proper way to play good limit poker is to actually play tighter than you would in a no-limit game. Now, a no-limit game, it's a game of implied odds. You can come in cheaply with a lot of hands and, make someone's entire stack off one hand. But limit, it's capped by each betting round, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, it looks like seat number 9. He's going to go by the name of Pimp Mac.
Oh, I want to know him. Oh,
there we go.
That's a friend of mine. He's all right. Hey, he's won 2 tournaments. He's placed twice at this last tournament, Stars and Stripes, at the Bicycle, which was a great tournament. Denny Williams does a real good job with that stuff. The Bicycle has a lot of great tournaments. I travel all over the world, and I always end up back here playing the Legends or October or
Stars and Stripes, winning in the green.
Yeah, winning in the green, so on and so forth.
Looks like seat number 4 there. That's Fred. He's going to bet on his king, and he's going to take it down. You know, we had talked earlier, Alex, when you were in here before, about your poker academy that was about a month away at that time, but now it's almost about to start up.
Yeah.
So, why don't you tell us a little bit more about that?
Well, what we actually try to do is we're trying to target 18-year-olds and 30-year-olds and up, and influence their parents into sending them there so that they'll understand that, yeah, poker's okay. And it's fun to have a lot of fun with it. Just don't overindulge. You still got to get your education. And there's a good side and a bad side of poker. I'll talk a little bit more after this hand.
Sure. Looks like, I believe seat number 9 is the original Razor, or your buddy there with pocket 8s.
Too aggressive as far as I'm concerned.
Gets called in a bunch of spots. Look at this. He's flopped a Psycho right away.
But look at the draw, though.
Now, seat number 5, he's got 10 Jack. Flop is Jack 8-9 with 2 spades. So 10 Jack has got top pair with an open-ended straight draw. He's checked from up front. Let's see if he's going to throw in a check raise here from up front. No, he's just going to call.
Yeah, he's being cautious. There's a lot of money involved. 30-60 is a dangerous game.
Absolutely. And seat number...
Oh, no.
Seat number 8 called with Queen 3 of clubs.
So now he fills up. So the pimp is in a good position.
And the pimp is going to keep driving. It gets checked to him again here. Seat 5 doesn't know he's drawing totally dead.
But he's going to call.
Look at that. Seat 8 was in the hand with a Queen 3 of clubs on that flop. Drawn to a gut shot.
Don't make the hand. Yep. You're in trouble if you make the hand. He's still going to pay off.
Well, he's got top pair, right?
Yeah.
And Pimp Mac's going to take it down with a full house.
He don't look too happy, does he?
Well, seat number 5. We've seen this guy on the show a lot. He's an action player. Likes to put a lot of chips in the pot. I mean, that pot alone there, Alex. You're talking about 2 bets pre-flop. Times 4. That's about $240 already. You get another couple of bets on the flop. Times 3. That's about $330, and then you get a bet on the turn and a bet on the river for $60. So we're talking about over a $500 pot.
We're not talking about no hay, are we?
Yeah.
We're talking about a day's wages, huh?
Absolutely.
Maybe some people for a week.
Yeah.
Some people don't get paid that in a week.
Yeah.
No taxes. Oh well, there's taxes, but
you keep track of them yourself. Yeah. Right. It's the good old honesty.
Exactly.
The honor system when it comes to the American IRS, right? Yeah. And then, I'm not saying that poker players ever fudge their income, Alex. That would never happen, right?
I don't know anything about that.
Got a 5-way action here. Looks like seat number 5 and seat number 8 both have top pair.
Queen 10, huh?
And seat 5's got a Queen 9. And he's first to act, and it looks like Queen 9's checked. Seat 8 is bet. Your buddy in seat number 9 has called with a gut shot straight draw, it looks like. He's trying to hit a 5 there. And look at this. Grace is going to come in with 4-6.
Which I would never call.
Grace is going to come in with bottom pair. Turns a 5, and Pimp Mac has made the straight.
Oh, my goodness.
Yep. And Grace is going to bet. She's going to bet. She's got 4-6. So she's got a pair with an open-ended straight. Doesn't know that your buddy's got a made straight, and he's going to pop it up right here.
She's in awe. She doesn't even understand it. It can't be possible. Did he draw for a gut for $60 or $30?
Guy with Queen 9's going to come in. She's going to call. Obviously, she's open-ended.
It's too sweet. The only thing can hurt him is a big spade.
And we know, though, that no one actually has the flush draw. Now, of course, he doesn't know that, but he's in a really good position. He's drawing. The worst thing could happen would be a split pot for him right here.
Exactly.
Yep. Oh, and that's going to give Queen 9 queens up from seat 5. It is a spade, though, so it might slow the action down. It does. And he checked it down. Yep.
He's on a little rush. He said first 2 hands he played, he wins $1,000.
Yeah, pretty much.
Time to go home, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it time to go to McDonald's?
Well.
But anyway,
as he pushes the pot, as Shirley pushes the pot to her, why don't you go on about your academy there?
Yeah, I was going to say that. We're probably not going to open up until sometime in June, but the ideal is that poker is very lucrative and it's a very liquid game, and we're trying we're trying to make people the young kids understand that we're getting very involved in this thing. Exactly what's going to really go on in their life. If they just immediately just say that this is what they want to do instead of staying in school, whatever it is that they want to do, and using all their options. But at the same time, we want to let them know that hey, there's the opportunity of being a great player, and we're going to be there for the open. We're going to be opening up. It's going to be opened up it's called the Grand Pavilion. It's going to be opened up at the corner of
and it's going to be in Granada Hills, California, and all of those of you that are interested can call, and we'll repeat this again, obviously, throughout the show. 818-343-4626. And does your academy, of course, has a website, right, that they can go to?
Yeah, the website is it's right here. I see all these diamonds here.
Yep, and look at the seat number 7 is Flop the Flush, and seat 9 has a set. Seat number 9, your buddy, he's going to cold call. He's got bottom set right here. Seat 7 is Flop the Flush. Turn is a queen. Turn is a queen. Turn is a queen, and seat 7's going to bet in with his made flush, and looks like Pimp Mac's just going to call with bottom set.
Uh-oh, again. Man, he needs to go home.
He's got a full house. He's made it on the river, Alex. Unbelievable. And he's going to raise it up, it looks like.
I'm going to go chase him down.
Yep. Maury there. He's made trip aces in seat 2 with ace 9 there. He's been calling all the way. And he's facing a bet and a raise.
They're going to be devastated.
Boy, this is a tough play for Maury right here. He's a very tough player.
They're going to be devastated.
The guy from up front has bet the entire way, Alex. And look at this. He mucks trip aces from behind.
Smart man.
Look at that. What a great laydown.
Well, somebody's got to have the flush for sure. I mean, look at the flop. The worst thing that could happen is the board to pair on the river.
And look at this. The flush is going to raise back at seat 9.
Well, he's in trouble. No good, man.
And there's the full house. Boy. And that's about between an $800 and $1,000 pot right there. Look, even more, actually, it looks like. Wow. Unbelievable hands.
Who got out of that seat?
Yeah. I believe it was Grace. Grace moved over to seat 6 from seat number 9.
Let's take a look at Grace to see how she's doing over there. She's not too happy, is she?
Those of you that are interested, again, in the Poker Academy, you can go to www.poker-academy.net. And you can also email, if you're interested, about information and about signing up at signup@poker-academy.net. And again, we'll continue to repeat this throughout the show.
And this is in the San Fernando Valley, so anybody in that area, it's going to be close. And there's also a dealer school involved, but that's neither here nor there. But anybody in that area that's involved that want to get their kids that are getting too excited about poker and have some good understanding. I'm going to be giving some lectures there, so I'm pretty entertaining. And, we ask you to come out and just take a look at it, It's a very nice facility.
Look at this, Pimp Mac on a roll. He's raised with ace-queen. He's hit top pair right away. 9-5 queen rainbow. Seat 7's made a real loose call from the button with the Jack-7 offsuit there.
Would you be mad at him, too, if he
No, I wouldn't be mad. I'd want him on my table all the time.
Everybody's going to try to kill him. Now he don't want 3-4 pots in a row. He sat down and won 4 pots in a row. That's like dreams. They don't happen very often.
So, again, like I said, I hadn't read into the Card Player magazine, and I took a look at it. I took a look at the article that was about you that came out 2 weeks ago today, and I know that we went over this briefly at the last time that you were in here, but people kind of misunderstood the story of what happened to you on ESPN and how it was kind of portrayed out, right? McManus he said he was upset not because of your kind of what he called crazy play, but because he thought that you were egging on TJ Cloutier a little bit before the day, and that was kind of a little bit of calculation on your part, right? Well, let's clarify it.
Let's just think about it, man. You sit down at a table with probably one of the greatest players in the world. That's probably one of the greatest moneymakers in the world. You got to get him out of your way.
Get him off his game, right?
Yeah, get him out of your way.
Yeah.
And out of his game, you want him out of your way. You don't want him off his game because he might recover.
Right.
So you got to try to get him out of his way, short chip. So before the game even started, I gave him his respect by kind of telling him that what I really felt, which is honest. I mean, I really think he's a choker. I mean, granted, he's one of the greatest money, and he's doing a lot of things that are great for poker. But come on, let's be real. Give me 20 shots at the last table.
Did you think it affected him when you said that to him?
He was the first one out.
Yeah.
After the hand, we'll mark it up real good
I
so he
mean,
doesn't come back.
come on, that's bottom line. He was the first one out, and he's paying off with nothing. You understand me? Normally, Cloutier plays nothing but big pairs, queens. I had him where I didn't care who got him out as long as he got out. I just happened to be lucky when I flop a set, you know. And McMahon is kind of bit, you know. Here's an interesting hand.
Well,
Ace king.
Maury's shown the best strength. He's 3-betted out of the small blind. Of course, Maury, the tight player. He's 3-betted out of the small blind, and he's going to bet right in with ace king out of seat 2. Now, seat 9's just got an ace 10 off suit here.
There's nothing out there, so you know you got to try to make your move.
And he's going to call. And the fellow 2+2er there, George, in seat number 1, he's going to...
No, the 10 here hits a hand.
Wow.
They're in trouble.
Boy, your buddy is he's flying high,
He's supposed to
isn't he?
raise right here, put some pressure on the pot.
Yeah. And is he going to raise?
I doubt it, but I would.
Look, he's just going to call.
Yeah, I'd have put some pressure on the
So
pot.
Maury's just drawing to a king right here. That's all that can help him. And that's going to give Maury top pair, but it gives aces up to seat 9.
It's going to cost him chips. It's going to cost him 2 chips. Oh, he just called. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I would have raised.
Yeah. Looked like Maury just bet there. And seat number 9 just flat called.
This guy's made $2,000.
$2,000 in 3 hands, man.
In what, 20 minutes?
20 minutes, yeah. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Look at the stacks. Of course, people will stack their chips normally on the table in 20-chip denominations. So each brown stack represents $200. So every time you're looking at a stack, I think that's not seat 9 we're looking for there. Yeah. There we go. 1. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Oh,
so he's got at least 2,400 in front of him. I don't know what he started with.
Oh,
but
he's thrilled, man. He's a hustler, man.
Yeah.
You know?
It's just unbelievable.
But anybody wants to ask me any questions, I'm pretty much an open book.
Yeah. Again, we're going to be monitoring the 2+2 thread that started every night. And the way that you can ask Alex a question is to go to 2plus2.com, spelled out in letters. Click on the forums link. And then click on World Poker Tour and other televised tournaments. Or you can type in the search box in quotations live at the bike, and the nightly thread will come up, and you can post your questions, and we'll be responding here. And as we speak, I'm sorting through some of the questions, and we'll get some of the questions up there. So.
I want him to raise.
And boy, that guy in seat 9 is just going on a roll, Alex. You know?
Yeah.
It's just unbelievable.
Well, you know, that happens, you know. Some days you sit down and right at the very beginning you go on a rush, and if you're a good player, you know how to capitalize in, and if you're smart enough, you get out.
Yeah.
You know, and he may do that, but he may not get out, and because you got to remember the same thing you win with, the same thing you lose with. But he's been playing pretty good, but with pairs and ace king and ace 10, and he seems to be doing very well.
Well, if we want to kind of ask kind of a funny question right off the bat, Alex, it looks like it was a unique user that posted up a question.
It's okay. Go ahead.
Okay. We'll get to that question after this hand here. Looks like we got pocket 10s, ace deuce suited. Now, Maury, again, probably one of the tightest players on the table there, and he's the one that's 3-betted from position with pocket 10s.
I really like this hand, pocket 10s in this position.
Now, George is checked with the ace-deuce suited. He's just going to check fold. Jack 3-8 rainbow.
Yeah.
It's got away from the hand. Kind of making a steal raise there.
Right.
So this guy, it's like Mr. Lupin the Third. He asks, Alex, I love your ability to get inside players' heads. Have you ever thought about singing the worst songs you can imagine repeatedly until your opponents crack? I recommend the electric side.
Well,
and, you know, it's it's kind of a funny question, but we were touching on that before. You do like to get into players' heads,
Yeah,
right?
it's a funny thing, though. I do. I wear earphones and I watch TV, and I get a lot of comments from people. And one of my comments is, everybody makes their own choices, and you do it your way and I do my way. And they think that I'm just doing whatever I'm doing, but I'm paying attention. And I do sing at the table sometimes, and I have, as you can tell, I have no singing voice. But you're absolutely right, though. You got to try to attack people. You're playing for Liquid Cash. You got to try to attack people and do whatever you can. Here we go. We got a club flush draw.
7-3 king, 2 clubs. Look at this. Grace has checked the flop, and she's made the flush on the turn here, and she's going to bet.
If you make the nuts, I would check. But she bets.
She bets. Well, we went check on the flop.
See, you lose the ability for them to bluff, and you got the best hand possible. So, I mean you got to gamble a little bit sometimes,
You might try to check raise there on the turn, maybe, if the guy puts in a bet from
Electric
position.
side, I've never heard them before, but I'm gonna pay attention to you, bro.
I was gonna bet it. I mean, I could have bet it, but you would stayed in.
There's no way I would get out.
Huh?
But there's no way I would get out with it.
No, I know. Yeah. So, good.
I'm just happy to win it.
Let's see.
Raise.
Looks like Maury there. Again, we talk about the type player. He's going to raise here from mid position. I'm a little bit surprised with an ace-9. Looks like an ace-9 suited, and he's not going to get any action, Alex.
Well,
bringing that one in from mid position.
I mean, they got to start becoming cautious of this. What do you say, Pimp Mac?
Pimp Mac.
Yeah, I mean, he's on a little rush, and he's not playing real bad. You know what I'm saying? And it looks like to me he's like calmed down. Look, he's kind of real calm. He's got his hand on his head. He's got a couple grand. He's probably thinking about quitting or maybe, keep playing, see how much he can really win. And he ain't out there just keep continuously raising with like every hand, like some guy that's drunk or something.
Right.
So they got to be real cautious.
Now, the same guy that's asking that question has posted up your link on the thread, so all of you monitoring 2+2 can go there again. Poker Academy. It's www.poker-academy.net. And you can click on that.
Yeah, we'd love to have people. You can get all the information you want by accessing the internet and accessing the Poker Academy.
Now, interesting flop here. Got King Queen against King Jack. King Jack has got top pair, and King Queen's got an open-ended straight. Wow, look at this. Trip Jacks on the turn here.
This raises a very.
Look at this. Fred just calls with his Trip Jacks from seat 4 there, Alex.
He's being cautious. I can't blame him. I mean, the guy's betting into him. But I guarantee he's going to raise here.
Well, no, I don't know. I think he's just calling. He's really worried that Maury had him beat.
No, my goodness.
Well, again, I mean, when you have such a tight player and who's capable of making huge laydowns, we saw, and people, get this really great image. I'm a little bit surprised that you don't raise with trips also. There, that was very passively.
Hey, I gotta get one. Hey, I gotta get one raise out of it. Now, if he raise me now, I'm gonna become a little cautious. Yeah.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, they are belling them out, man.
He said, he talking now. Is that Pimp Mac talking?
Yep.
We still got another quarter.
Oh, he talking now. Man. He got chirping shit.
Looks like seat number 8 there. Don has got pocket jacks, and he's posted. But look at this. Maury's picked up another huge hand. He's got pocket kings.
Let's see how he plays.
Seat number 2. But Grace has got aces from seat number 6 there, Alex. Grace has raised. The jacks have 3-bet, and now Maury's sitting up front with pocket kings. You would think he's going to cap it from the big blind.
Aces.
Look at this. He just calls, though. Wow.
Aces hardly get a play, right? But she caps it.
Cap it.
Wow. So we're looking at 4 bets.
If she gets beat here, she's going to be very discouraged.
Absolutely.
She's been having some hard times since she moved out of that seat.
So we're already looking at about a $720 pot here to the flop.
Is there any face cards or not?
Red rags, 6, 8, 7, 2 diamonds. Maury with his kings is going to lead.
King of diamonds has the only shot right now.
Grace raises with her aces. Jacks calls. Okay. It's not Dawn in seat 8. I'm sorry. I'll get there. Better name there. So Grace is just flat called, and look at this. A queen comes. Now Maury's been the aggressor. He checks.
The one face card that couldn't hurt him.
Maury's checked up front with the kings. Grace is checked. And seat number 8, who's been the real aggressor of the hand, has bet with his jacks. Little does he know, he's in third spot.
And little does he know he's finna get raised.
Now look at this, though. Maury, I think, is really thinking of... Again, we saw him muck trip aces before. I think he's thinking about possibly mucking this hand
cannot
here.
muck that hand.
Well, he's going to call. He's going to call.
She's being cautious, too, with the aces. Huh?
Yeah. Turns an ace. Now, that's a third ace, but it's a backdoor flush. And she checks.
6, all in for 3.
I couldn't check that hand. I'd have to raise if I did check.
Wow, well, I think the guy in seat 8 was all in there, so it kind of screwed with some of the betting order. But she takes it down with 3 aces and wins a big pot there.
She's pretty happy now. She got a smile. Can we get a smile? Can we get a little smile? Just a little smile. There it is. There it is. Little smirk anyway, huh? Yeah.
Well, Alex, I'm telling you, because I play with Maury a lot, I think that he was possibly thinking about laying that down. I mean, I know in limit, it's very rare that you lay down an overpair to the board, just because, it's not going to cost, you know how much it's going to cost you anyways to call down. But, I mean, it's done if you think that someone has a set or someone has aces, and I think he was thinking about laying it down.
Post 2 jacks. Post 2 jacks.
Now, the other thing I wanted to ask you about, Alex, that I read about in the article, was they made mention of the fact that you were represented now, and that you were, kind of in a preliminary developmental deals for, certain motivational speaking roles, maybe the possibility of a book or a movie. Can you go into that after this hand is done?
I sure can. There's not a problem with that. As a matter of fact, I'd be glad to.
3 players.
Ace 4 against Deuce 8, huh? King, queen of clubs.
Yep.
How you like this?
Flush draw with overcard to king, queen.
The 8 thinks he's in position. Little does he know, there's a lot of possibilities.
And king, queen is over there in seat 9 there.
Well, the ace of clubs is probably going to call too, didn't they?
2-8 is actually not in the hand. I'm sorry about that. Jack 6
folded,
is
huh?
there. Look at this, though. Jack 6 out of seat 6. That's Grace. She's got trips now. And she's going to bet with her trips.
And when she gets beat here, she's going to really be upset.
Seat number 4, all he has is ace 4. You would think that he's going to muck here.
Yeah, but
and
he
he
is.
is.
He's going to muck, yeah, for sure.
So seat 9's going to have a club that's not the jack of clubs when it doesn't come.
Yeah.
Look at this. She checks.
Well, yeah, because she knows the only thing that can happen is she gets beat. I mean, the only thing that can happen to her is she bets is that she gets beat.
If she gets called by a better hand.
because the other hand is not going to call unless they can win. And
Well, it does bring out 3 to a straight there.
Yeah, I mean, it's just... there's a spade flush, there's a straight, there's many hands, always
6 with a bigger kicker or something like that.
The only thing she can get called, is she can lose the top.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing about that, though, is that she's been playing pretty passively because she's a very action player.
Well, yeah, she's playing 30-60, and this guy went on a rush, and she moved out of the hand. That kind of make you shell-shocked, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I just moved out of the seat. They just won $2 grand.
Absolutely.
What did I do wrong, But anyway, yeah, I'm being represented by a group called the Glacier Group. And actually, we're in negotiations trying to set up something for the World Series. I'll talk about it after this hand.
Okay.
Pot has been raised.
Looks like seat number 4. It's going to bring it in for a raise. Excuse me, Grace brought it in for a raise in seat 6. She's got pocket 7s.
No, sir.
I don't know how people are so aggressive with those small pairs.
Well, how about seat number 9 calling with the king 10 offsuit? Cold call the raise.
That's not a bad call. I mean, small pairs are not aggressive hands to me. All you do is set yourself up to get hit unless you flop the set.
Well, this is aggressive Grace here again. Now she's raised with 7s and she's going to bet. She gets check raised by Queen Jack from up front.
It's my exact point. People put too much validity on those small pairs when they're really trap hands.
Turns a deuce of hearts.
Think about it.
And,
of course, everybody does everything different.
Well, this is where kind of sometimes action players have had a little bit of trouble with their game because it's very difficult for them to lay down a hand. Grace has been check raised, and Queen Jack checks it down on the river. But I would imagine that Grace would have paid off the entire way there if the guy with Queen Jack had bet the river. But that's Steve there in seat number 3.
Yeah.
and he's a pretty good player there too. So go on about the
But
Glacier
anyway,
group.
yeah, I'm involved with the Glaciers group, and it's you can look it up on the internet. They're pretty famous. They're involved with a great couple of football players, and they did some PR on $1 Million Baby, and I'm really their charity case. To be honest with you, I have a great lucrative deal with them, and I'll tell you a little bit more about it in a minute.
Looks like
we got ace 10, ace 8, jack 7.
Pimp Mac is going to just limp in here. Seat 9. He's got a king 9 offsuit. Jack 4.
This would be interesting how he makes this move on this hand.
Well, he checks the second pair, Alex. No one's got a jack. He has the best hand right now. Flop is 9-4 jack, 2 clubs.
He should make a move here.
Look at this, though. Seat 4 is going to bet in with a flush draw.
Well, he's going to call, definitely. He thinks he has the best hand. He just has a question about it. He's not going to be too aggressive with it.
So he's going to have to dodge a club here on the river. Queen 5 against King 9.
Oh, my goodness.
River's a club. Flush is going to bet.
He's probably going to pay off. He's probably just going to pay off. He's either going to pay off or fold, but more than likely he's going to probably pay off. I mean...
All right, let's see if you got a 6, man.
See? Or a club.
6, a club, or a jack.
Right.
That's what's going to beat him.
Yeah. He's pretty cautious for a young man, isn't he? I mean, he's not over-aggressive or anything like that. So to me, he's somebody to watch. I mean, he went on a 4 or 5 hand rush, and he backed right completely off. And which was the thing to do. You see what I'm saying? I mean, he's got his money already. Now he's just trying to see if he can capitalize on the situation, which is great. Anyway, yeah, I'm involved with the Glacier group, and it's not spelled like Glacier. It's spelled Glasure. And you can go to glaciergroup.com and access and talk to anybody if you're interested. By the way, I'm open for hire, and I'm interested in doing some PR work for some people at the World Series. We're in negotiations now, but nobody's sealed any deals up. So anybody that's interested in involved in a great PR person like myself, and I'm there, and I'm open to negotiating. And I have an agent out of Miami in there. If you look it up, it's called theglaciergroup.com. As a matter of fact, let me give you the exact. You can call Scott at Glacier Group. It's all one word. Glacier, GLASUREGROUP.com, and you can just access me or talk, or you can also access me at the Poker Academy. I'm there too. So, I mean, I'm interested in working. I'm a very good person. I'm a hard worker.
So, if anyone is seriously interested in maybe hiring you on for whatever motivational speaking or whatever type of poker promotions, there's a lot of new things going on in the poker world, possibly as a spokesman for, maybe a new, poker internet site or something, they can email your agent, Scott, at, and the email again is Scott at Glacier, spelled GLASURE group.com. Looks like the table really hasn't been that talkative, kind of chilling out. Very serious game. It's a good game,
Well, for a limit games, this is other than when you're playing with Yosh.
In the big white chip.
Well, who is a phenomenal player and a great individual. Also, I've known him for 30 years. If you're playing with Yosh or you're playing with Johnny Chan, 30, 60, 40, 80 is about as big as you're going to get.
Right.
And these guys are, they're 30, 60 players with like 20, 40 where they're comfortable. And when you're dealing with 30, 60, you're in a category where you might hurt your bankroll.
Absolutely.
Unless you're in $100,000 category, it's not unsaid to lose $10,000-$15,000 in this game.
Oh, absolutely.
So.
Yeah, it looks like seat 8 there was all in and ran the cards on the turn. River Morgan, seat 2 is going to take it down with ace high. Picked up a nice flush draw on the flop there, but he was only heads up against the guy that was all in, so there were no more bets.
I love these type of games, though. They're at least when you're in California, people have a lot of money, so they play a little looser in the 1530s and the 2040s.
Well, the other thing about that I tell people about why the Bicycle Casino is one of my favorite card rooms in town is because if you go to some of the other card rooms, sometimes you see at these limits at a 20, 40, or 40, 80 level, you see a lot more pros trying to grind it out, trying to make money. Here at the bike, like you said, you see people come in who are businessmen, who have a lot of expendable money, and they're just here for a good time. Well, if you're a poker player, you can almost take advantage of that, right?
Well, I'll tell you something about the bike. They have a gentleman named Robert Turner, who I've also
the executive host. Yeah,
who I've also known. I'll tell you about him in just a minute, but I've known him for 30 years. I'll tell you a little bit about him.
Looks like Steve is moved. Oh, looks like the seat number 5 there. Looks like can't tell if that's a new player. He's raised with pocket. Let's go. Only got a 9-10 offsuit there. And that's Don in seat 5. I'm sorry, is the one that's moved. So he's raised with a 9-10 offsuit. Seat number 7 has called him with Jack-9 suited in the small blind.
Interesting. Let's see who can play this the best without no hand. This is where you make money. Is where you make little moves and you can just kind of fade the blinds. You understand? Fading the blinds is very important so you don't get into your stat.
Well, I just love it. When I come in with a hand like that and try to steal the blinds, and I get a flop with a scare card. It's ace or king.
Right.
Now what happened there? Jack-9 checks to me. I bet like this guy did, and Jack-9 folds.
Right.
He doesn't even know that he has the best hand with Jack high.
Right. But anyway,
he might call you down with Jack high, but if you get my,
I was going to speak about Robert Turner, who's probably the greatest marketing genius in poker. I mean, I've known him for 20 years. He's worked at the Horseshoe. He's worked at Bicycle a couple of times. The top section really wasn't doing that well till he came here, and he's really boosted it up. For some reason, Robert invented Omaha. See, people don't understand it.
Yeah, he used to be at the Golden Nugget when he worked in Vegas, right?
He invented Omaha. I mean, when people come here, they get treated very well, and they get treated like family, and Robert's very kosher. And then you got Yosh, who he's had a relationship with for another 20 years, and he's a high-limit host. And then you got Rick, who's operations manager, am I correct?
Poker operations
manager, right? Who knows how to talk to people and deal with people and is very down to earth, and they feed you pretty good and they treat you like family. And then of course they got the Asian side too, where you can go play some California blackjack or
pie
poker and do whatever your fancy is. Of course, they got a lot of women here too, so
Now, Don here, who's raised before, he's got pocket aces. This time, he's got a real hand in seat number 5, and he's going to raise. Looks like Pimp Mac on the button there. He's put small blind on the button.
I think he's waiting to make a move on these people. He thinks he's got them under control. He done laid back. He's trying to control them.
Well, he's called with the 9-10 suited from the button. Seat number 1's in there with pocket 5s, and Maury is in there with a queen 5 suited, a suited queen. Flop is a 3-3-9.
Here we go. See, this is where you want. Oh, just 2 aces, huh?
Yeah, that's seat number 5, the original
He's
razor.
in trouble. I think it's going to cost him a lot of money here, unless he catches a 9.
Well, 3-3-9 on the flop. Seat 1 with pocket 5s leads, and seat number 5 doesn't raise with the aces. He just flat calls.
He's trying to check. He wants to get him on a turn.
Turns a jack.
Plus this guy's been hot, I mean,
just like you said, what happened? George is bet in with pocket 5s. Seat number 5 with aces is raised, and George Monks.
Yeah, he wants to nail him for some money.
You didn't have anything.
Real common. I noticed that he hasn't. Him and this guy to his left, or it'll be his right. They haven't got trapped too much in Pimp Mac's escapade. They've sit down and and just kind of weathered it.
Pimp Mac obviously over there in seat 9 with the athletics jersey on, Oakland Athletics.
I don't understand why a guy would want to be called Pimp Mac anyway. I like the brother and everything, but come on.
Grace has got a couple of ladies. The lady she is, she's got queen. She's going to raise from seat number 6. Steve's going to put in a call there with a jack 6 suited. Yeah, she's in seat 6. I'm a little bit surprised that Steve's called there with the jack 6 suited. It's heads up. King 10 jack.
Well, how do you like this with the queens?
Well, I'm going to continue to fire with my queens, and she does. King 10 jack. She's got an open-ended straight draw. You know, and she's got what would be second pair. Steve's got a jack, and he's thinking about maybe calling. And remember, Grace is a real action player, so if she's raised with something like pocket eights.
I don't know how you can call since she's ready for the flop.
And he does mock.
Yeah, he doesn't have a king, and she could have ace queen, she could have ace kings, and she does have pocket queens.
Pocket queens, yeah. Absolutely. Have you ever played with Grace before on a table?
I like to play live, but during these last few months, I've been just so busy that I haven't had the ability to play live at the time. I've been doing a lot of tournaments, and I have a project that I'm doing with the documentary, and then I have the school that I'm working with, and then I'm trying to get a sponsor, and it takes up all my time just trying to stay ahead
and trying to promote yourself.
Yeah,
obviously,
trying to promote myself so that I can, because I have a lot of plans for the World Series this year. I mean, I have very specific goals for the World Series this year, considering that I only played. This is the first time I've ever played. It was last year. Even though I've been 4 or 5 times, I've never ever played a satellite or a tournament until last year. And I thought I knew everything, but I didn't. I know a lot more now.
Yeah. So we're going to see three-way action here. 4-8 king, 2 hearts. And it looks like we get another question we'll ask you after this hand, Alex, from one of the 2+ tours. Maury's going to bet on the button with pocket queens. He was the original raiser. Pimp Mac was thinking about calling for a backdoor flush, but he laid it down there. Good discipline. He only had the ace of hearts there. We got a question here from Jay on 2+2. He says, I first saw you play at the 2004 World Series of Poker. What do you consider to be your best game?
Well, that's unfair. You know? I mean, I'm going to tell you because I believe in God, and I'm going to tell you because you're asking me, and I should do that. But I mean, I played 2 events at the World Series, and I placed them both from 17th and 7th. But my best game, so everybody should watch out, is 7-card stud.
Really? I never knew that, actually. I was going to thought you were going to say limit hold'em. Because I remember I always ask you that you're more of a limit guy than a no limit guy.
7-card stud, I'm going to tell you in order. 7-card stud, 7-card Raz, limit hold'em. Then no limit hold'em. And don't get me wrong, I went to Washington to learn how to play no limit hold'em. I went with the best no limit players in the world. But I have an understanding of the game that other people don't have, that I know that I don't have the bankroll for it. And no limit hold'em is a limit game, but it's based on your bankroll. Right. And people don't understand that. It's limit based on your bankroll. In other words, if you have $1 million, if I lose 20,000 last night, then okay, I just go and say, baby, I lost 20 cents.
Well, this is a very interesting hand. Now, Queen 9 has raised pre-flop. King Queen 3-betted out of the blind. Seat 5 has led on the flop, and George has raised him on the flop. Now the turn goes check, check, and the river's a deuce, and C5 has got the best hand.
They're going to check.
Wow. You know, I don't mind the play by George there.
They're both
raising the flop.
Well, the ace makes them. The ace gives them a problem. They want to get a free card.
Yeah.
See, so with the ace on the problem, what he did was he secured his hand so he could pay off. It's still going to cost him the same thing if he has to pay off on the river instead of putting the extra bet in at $60. You know what I'm saying?
Bet and turn, you know.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So.
No, I just wondered that if George had continued to bet there on the turn with his king queen, with his queen 9, if he could get the king queen to lay it down with the ace on the board.
He's not going to lay it down.
You're in, Maury. Yep.
No.
So that was kind of interesting. So 7-card Raz, really is only played almost exclusively at the World Series, right?
Well, yeah, it's a thing of the past. It's like
it's a low ball 7-stud right?
Exactly. Yeah. It's a thing of the past. Of course, I'm a great low ball player too because I broke my teeth in low ball in California, in Sacramento. I mean, as a matter of fact, I lost $1,500 in pennies. playing low ball.
Well, this is one of these hands, Alex, where it's going to be who's ever plays it the best. Both have had ace high here.
Who's got the strength? Who's got the understanding, right?
And it goes check, check. Steve is checked from behind. It looks like in position. And you know what? Alex, it's going to be a chop pot. Looks like it's going to be fives with an ace, queen, jack kicker for both players.
Let's chop it, yeah?
Yep. Well, it's funny, though, because a lot of people don't realize what you said about 7 stud. 7 stud high is almost a dead game at the middle limits as well. I mean, I know that there's one card room that spreads it, but it really, if you can find, I mean, and I'm speaking for LA, 1 or 2 games between 20, 40, and 30, 60, you're lucky, right? In the capital of the whole world, poker.
15, 30 and up.
Yeah.
You can go to Commerce, or you can't find it here, but you can go to Commerce, or you can go to Hollywood Park.
Right,
it's all 15, 30 and up.
But what I'm saying is that it's not that popular of a game. Nothing like Hold'em.
Not anymore.
No, nothing like Hold'em.
Yeah, and the reason that is because it's not, the action's not fast enough. But there's a big control in the game, so weaker players don't want to play it.
Well, you're not going to, it's almost like high-low games. I like to play high-low games too, Alex, because I find that the beats are not as bad there, and the variance is less.
His name is
I don't know his name, but I played with him a lot.
My name is Fundraiser.
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 3 players.
So we're going to see three-way action here. King, queen, queen, jack, and jack 8.
Got both have ace.
You know you don't have nothing.
You can't even call.
Grace is led here. Seat 7 is called with a gut shot. Turns a 3. That's not going to bring any help for queen, jack.
My king is good? Give us another card. Go ahead. Give us another card.
I don't think your king is good.
Yeah.
Little.
Your king is better.
That's what I figured. When you said, if you think my king is good, that's when I said, no, your king is not good.
Good.
Thank you, Grace.
King is better.
He says, your king good, my king is good. I said, nah.
See if you can scramble a little bit.
All right.
Maybe because my kicker was the nuts.
And Grace took that one down, that pot down.
You better turn them out.
Alex is stepping away from the booth for about 5 minutes, but he'll be back. Again, if you want to ask him questions, the best way doing that is to go to 2plus2.com, spelled out, click on the forums link,
Pot has been raised.
click on World Poker Tour and other televised tournaments, click on the Live at the Bike thread.
Should I play with you?
You can register real briefly,
Just one time.
post up a question. We've got several questions that we're going to ask
I'll play too.
when he comes back.
On the big blind, right?
Yeah.
Even though I should fold this.
4 players.
Four-way action here.
We got the poker table.
Flop is a king 5-9, rainbow.
I'll check go first.
Three-way action, excuse me.
Okay. I should have known better.
Fred is going to bet with pocket 3s, and he's going to take it down. Aggressive bet there.
He said that's my number.
And he takes it down.
I told you for my number.
Look, Osama bin Laden.
Thank you, sir.
I'm not sure if Shirley or Dave mentioned it, but we're not going to have a big shootout tournament tomorrow night. I believe what is scheduled is a 300, 500 spread buy-in, no-limit game. Now, that might change to a big game or the 200 game. But I do have a word. I spoke to Yosh before I came into the booth that next week we will be doing a one-table shootout, possibly $10,000 buy-in, possibly $5,000 buy-in. And hopefully we can get Jerry Buss down here and defending champion Frank Mariani.
Gracie. Pot has been raised.
And hopefully we can get them into the booth here too. Grace is going to raise. She's got a 7-9 suited. She's going to come in with a gap suited connector.
How are you doing? Yeah.
She's flopped top pair. Pint Mac has got second pair with an overcard, king 3. Deuce 3-9 rainbow. Look at this. Pint Mac looks like he's bet right into Grace from up front.
Did he pick up? Okay.
I'm not sure.
Grace is going to raise it up with top pair. She's got a 7-9 of diamonds. Pip Mac's going to call. So to the turn, heads up.
Silver two.
Turns an ace. Well,
Greg,
that
new
might slow
player
both
in?
players down.
It's okay?
Now Grace is going to continue to fire.
Let's do it.
Wow,
Then I
Pip
need
Mac's
chips,
going to
please.
call. Very surprised.
Yeah.
Pretty loose call there with just a 3.
Oh, no, I didn't push it out. I got it right here, and then I pushed it.
No. That's a
That
string.
string?
He put
I put it right here
He put it right
and
here.
and then I started pushing
He
it
put
in.
it right here, and then he went back and then did this, and then
I started pushing
he
it in.
started to push it in.
I'm not going to decide that. Greg?
Oh, this is an interesting
I had put this here.
Interesting
I didn't have
situation.
enough,
Yeah, and
and
then
I
he
put
went
it back. I went back and got that, and then I started
Then he
pushing
pushed
it
it
in.
in. That's a string, right?
Let me see what he did again.
I was here with it. I took it.
He wants to try to check raise.
Counted it.
Show me what you did from the beginning. Show me what you did from the beginning.
He put 3, 6. He put them on top. Then he came back and put 6 more.
And then pushed it in. That's exactly. That's
What happened to the invisible line that's supposed to be going across?
The line, we don't really play a line here. Line is just decoration, but if that's the case, if you put anything forward, they went back and got more than it would.
No, I didn't put it forward. I started here, and then I started
Yeah, but
pushing
you
it
brought them
forward.
from here to here, correct?
Yeah. You went to the
If you went
stack to
back
get
to your,
the
if you went back to your chips, if you left it, if you did this, and you,
Well, Pip Mac was trying to throw a check raise in there, but it's not going to be allowed. And now he's got a situation where he only has a 3. And let's see what happens. Now he's going to bet. Now look at this. Grace is going to muck. When another overcard comes on the river, boy, did that work out for seat number 9 there.
All you had to do was
Intending to represent an ace with a check raise on the turn.
I didn't know. Usually when I'm
It wasn't
playing down
allowed. It
here,
was called a string
I don't
bet.
have enough trip. They still have that line that you can go. You know.
And an overcard comes on the river. And Grace mucks the best hand. Wow.
Okay.
Robert, do you want your blind? Sure. Okay. We're going to deal Robert in right there.
I got 920 on CD.
920.
I'm sorry, on seat 3.
C3.
Hey, Gracie.
how are you doing, young man?
For all you,
I'm doing
just
Stella.
between you and I, the line is actually so that the dealer doesn't stretch over. It's really just ergonomics line.
And
All
Alex
it
is
I'm
back in the
bad.
booth. You know, Alex, you missed kind of an interesting hand there.
Did I?
Your boy got called for a string raise. He tried to check raise on the turn with the worst hand. Grace called him on a check raise, and he wasn't able to raise, and he bet into the river, and she mucked the best hand. So look at that.
He made a move. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta watch those people out. See, me personally, I might have called him. So I might have thought he was making a move. See, one thing you learn about poker is that there's time to make situations that aren't necessarily
10 point.
Thank you, Robert.
quote unquote, you know, what poker is about. And people think they're, you're out of line or whatever the case may be, but you're trying to win the good cash.
Absolutely.
So you make moves.
We got a new player in C3. I want to quickly go to a question here from Glitch. On C+2, he says, Alex, I was very impressed with how you handled the adversity in the various situations in the World Series of Poker, from Hennigan down to the rough beats you took. Do you attribute this to mental discipline, to the years that you wandered as homeless man from gutter to gutter?
Well, actually, he's absolutely right. I've gained all my discipline from being poor, and you realize that people are equal no matter what, that you're the smallest grain of sand on the beach, no matter what you have, and that God really controls everything. And I have an ego, so if you open your mouth to me, I'm going to respond, but I'm not going to attack you unless you attack me. And when you attack me, I'm going to send you on tilt. You will not get the last word. It's impossible for you to get the last word with me. I won't call the floor man. I won't curse you. I won't. But I'm gonna try to make you curse. And if you say the wrong word, they have a rule called the F word. And if you say it, you get 10 minutes. I'm trying to make you say it. Give you 10 minutes to make you matter.
Or maybe trying to get the guys to muck their hands off the table or something
whatever
like
I
that.
can get done when I'm in the tournament. I want to say one thing here though about the bicycle. They don't have as many games as other places, but they have as far as like high limit games. But they have some of the best games. Like right now, they got a major a high limit game going on here with Yosh and them and Jerry Buss and them all showed up. If you ever come to California or if you're in the area, you should come over here and check it out. If you ever if you're a high limit player and a big stakes player, the bicycle is a place to come. And it's very quiet, and there's not a lot of people around you, and their security is very good, and they make sure that you're not being bothered.
Now, Alex, we have an interesting development here in the world of Live at the Bike. One of our announcers, Friar Tuchman, has taken the seat in seat number 8. He was the gentleman that was in here that relinquished his headset to you earlier on, and he's quite the player. It's always interesting to see guys that you know and see their hole cards. With a King Deuce Deuce here. Maury's bet out with King 9. He's got top pair. He's going to bet and he's going to take it.
What about Fizzle?
You know, Dave is one of these guys, Alex, that attributes, the best limit play to playing absolutely no hands from the first couple of positions. And we'll see how he actually follows his suggestions. But we get another question here from Kev Mouth on 2+2. He says, Alex, who do you think the best 5 players right now are going?
In no limit poker, I know many players. No doubt about it, Daniel Grano has all the say right now. I mean, as far as the tournament play is concerned, I really don't know about his live play that much, but as far as tournament play is concerned, anybody that questions him I like to be able to see his whole cards every time. Amir Vahidi, great player. Yosh, great player. Johnny Chan, great player. There are players that people don't know about that are great players, and I'm only going to name one, and that's Ray Z. He's out of Reno, and this guy is probably the best player in the world. Nobody knows.
Well, I bet you the guys on 2+2 will love you saying that, Alex. Look at this. Seat number 4. Seat number 7 there. Seat number 7's picked up a queen. And he's going to take down the pot. Ray Z, of course, was one of the co-authors, Alex, to some of the... he specifically wrote one of the high-low split book for the advanced book series. That's the Skolansky series, and that's what actually this 2+2 form that we're looking at is attributed to. That's 2+2 publishing. And Ray Z is a great high-low split player, great player in general, right?
I know him personally. Of course, I know others. Mark Porter. Myself, I think I'm a rookie, but I mean I'm a great limit player, a great stud player, but I'm yet proven. You understand what I'm saying? And being proven means that you got to go to the next level. And going to the next level means you need the bankroll or you need the sponsors. And I believe that if I get the sponsors and I'm in a position that I might become a great player. Plus, I'm pretty charismatic, so it creates situations that other people haven't even thought of. I have ideas that other people haven't thought of yet.
Well, Fred from seat number 4 there, Alex.
3 bets, sir.
He's raised. Seat number 5 is 3-betted with pocket 10.
Pocket 10, I see that.
And it looks like it's going to get heads up. King 5 suited against pocket 10s. Boy, that's a pretty loose hand to come in with a raise with King 5 suited.
Pocket 10s are a great favorite here because he's only got 1 over.
Right.
If he had 2 overs, it'd be like a flop.
A coin flip situation, right?
Yeah.
Well, he didn't hit one of his overs there. Let's see if that ace slows pocket 10s down.
I doubt it. He's
going to bet.
Yeah, he's got to make a move to see if the guy has anything.
And Fred's going to muck there. And pocket 10s is going to take the pot down. Interesting.
Thank you, sir.
10 o'clock, what? You guys shut it off on the line at 10?
It just stops airing. The game can continue. If you'd like.
When the stops airing?
It stops, when the lights go out, but it's close to 10.
Can I call my homeboy, tell him to turn online? Yeah, I ain't got a cell phone. I got to go to the phone booth. So,
Really? Yeah, but he came from here.
Yeah, all right. After my blinds, I'll go call.
Yeah, I shut it off.
You're getting too many phone calls.
Yeah. Patty called. I said, Grace sitting right next to me. Yeah, I told her. Oh, she said, tell her I forgot to tell you. She says, tell her I said hi. I said, okay.
So again, we are live at the bike with special guest Alex Powers playing 30-60 limit poker. One of the other things too is that I saw in the article, Alex. You make your home in Reno.
Grace is here.
But you find the games out there a little bit tougher than some of the California games out here?
Well, Yeah, because they're tougher, but they're better. First of all, I live at the peppermint. All right, I get a room for $24 a day and a couple meals. And, I have a lot of people that I know there, but the difference in the games there are that the players there are old timers, a lot of money, and they have the old school attitude for playing. So they're not going to call you with that 9-8 of hearts when you make a move. It's easier to make a move on them than it is players in California. California players are much, much tougher. As I've said before, California has the best tournament players in the world. Also, they have the most aggressive players in the world. So it's hard to control a game here in California because of their assets. So it's a different scenario.
Because they tend to have more expendable income.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
They make a lot more money, and they don't think nothing about playing 100, 200, 1,000, 2,000. Where in Nevada, you pay your rent with $1,000. Here, $1,000 is a small little kitchenette.
Well, Pim Mac has got ace-queen suited from the button in seat 9. Seat number 3 is raised with an ace-9 of clubs. And now he's going to bet. The flop is 5, Jack 9, 2 spades. It's heads up. Pim Mac has the best hand. Of course, there's no way of knowing that. Some people would put in a 3-bet there on the button there, Alex, with an ace-queen.
I wouldn't, but...
Pre-flop, pre-flop.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't be pre-flop, but...
Turns a 4 of clubs.
I make a move on the flop, though. I might make a move right now. I'll try to win the pot.
Well, it looks like he's just going to call down. Maybe he thinks he has the best hand and he's thinking about raising.
Raise.
Oh, there you go.
So you got
I'd make a move, try to win the pot, because I just couldn't believe a guy has something.
Well, he's got ace-9. The fellow in C3's got ace-9, so he's got the second pair. So Pimp Mac is in
a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
He's only got a queen out.
Oh, it's an ace, though.
Oh, he's in bigger trouble now. He's going to lose.
Look at this, though. It goes check, check.
Ace-9.
Wow, you wonder if the guy in C3 realized he's had 2 pair.
No, his 2 pairs better.
And then Pim Mac, when he got checked on the river after he hit an ace, he checked right behind it. Third spade came on the board, though.
I don't understand, especially the ace-9.
Yeah.
But he thought he had a jack, that's why he called.
You were hoping you had a jack.
Ace better. You were hoping you had a jack.
It's funny, when you say that you're starting up your poker academy and you'd like to teach some young people, the ins and outs of poker, do you think that poker has kind of been a little bit over-glorified by TV and some young people are just coming in and they think that all of a sudden they can just score rich right away and they don't realize what kind of hard work it takes to become a successful player or, even a player good enough to make a living off of it?
The reality is that poker is a sport. And the fact is that if you're playing football, basketball, just think about it. How many colleges in this country? There's many colleges. How many people make it to the pros? And it's the same thing with poker. No matter how much you learn or whatever it is, there's only going to be that very small percentage that actually make a living at this sport. And it's a very, very lucrative situation. And the people that naturally, like in football, the great stars get all the publicities. And that's exactly what's happening with poker. The people that are struggling and the guts and the grind and everything, you don't hear nothing about them. And you see the dream, but you don't know how far reach it is. And you need to understand that you need to maintain focus and keep from overindulging in the sport.
Dave there in seat 8 is playing. Wow, boy, he's raised with 3-6 offsuit. Now he's raised the flop with 3-6. Still 3-way action. I believe that's Dave in seat 8, right?
He's gambling.
Wow, he's gambling it up. I don't wonder if it's for live at the bike purposes. Because I don't think you normally see him call. I mean, he got 3-betted. Turn rivers of 5.
He just wasted whatever money he had, didn't he?
Maury's going to check with pocket 9s. Dave checks. Pimp Mac's going to looks like he's going to take it down with ace-10.
Ace?
He's happy with that pot, too.
Well, that's an interesting one there.
Because he's lost. Focus in on his chips. Let's see how many chips he's lost since he won. You remember he had like 2 rows of those. Now he's down to he's down quite a bit. He almost 3 rows, didn't he? And he's down quite a bit now since his little rush.
Well, it's funny.
Did you see what's her name?
Grace.
Grace is still is very steady and has all her chips, and she's waiting her turn.
Well, I think Dave probably got caught there. He was trying to make a steal raise.
I'm just wondering, I'm not sure if I had the second best hand or the third best hand.
Yeah, as he says that. He got 3-betted, he called, and he picked up a straight draw, so he raised it on the flop anyways. But he was in big trouble
3
there.
bets here. 3 bets.
I've never seen Dave play a hand like that before, though. 3-6 offsuit.
Yeah, that's because you can't see his card, but he
Exactly.
And you're getting a good read. Hey, wait a minute. This guy might not be as tight as I think he is.
You want him to kiss you too?
Well, Grace is...
she's starting to talk, huh? I want him to kiss you too.
C5 is raised with an ace-4 suited. Grace is 3-bet with ace-queen. And Maury's going to call, very surprised, with ace-9 suited on a small blind.
I am jealous now.
Queen 7-7. Look at this. Maury's flopped a flush draw. Grace has got top pair. Bet and a call. Let's see what the turn brings. It's a 3. Maury's just going to call. I thought maybe Maury might try to make a move here by a check raise on the turn with his flush draw. Ace-queen against ace-9. Ooh, river's an ace.
He thinks he's going to get a split.
Well, that gives Grace aces up, aces and queens. And Grace is going to take it
very
down.
steady.
Thank you.
Thank you, Grace.
Yeah, very
Yeah,
good night. And I'm still stuck. I gotta deal another. Oh, it's my
Sarah's here.
favorite.
He already kissed her hand, so I gotta go. Good luck, guys.
It looks like Greg is leaving the box there.
Oh, you stay.
Sit down.
We got a new player, a new dealer coming in. We got a question here from Bill Ivey. Alex, he's going to say, what's the best advice you can give a young poker player who's deeply considering turning pro? I think that's a great question.
Let me finish his hand. Let me think about it for a second. But there are a lot of good things to say to him, depending on how long he's been playing.
Yeah, once he called more.
Seat number 5.
Once he called, I knew
looking like a live one. He's going to bring it in with a pretty good hand, though. He's got king-queen suited. But Maury in C2 on the button's got pocket kings. Most likely we're going to see a 3-bet here, I would imagine.
Sure.
And he is.
If he doesn't, I wouldn't. I don't know why he's playing the game.
Yeah.
I was surprised you raised the flop.
Did I raise the flop?
You raised the flop.
I didn't think you had an ace. I thought you had a pair, maybe.
And Dave is explaining why he raised with 3-6 offsuit on the
First to see
flop.
where I was at.
And he was right.
'Cause I didn't know. I figured you a pair. I didn't know if I was better than you or not better than you.
Here's an interesting with the gut shot and a pair of kings.
King-queen there.
Yeah, it's a good shot.
King-queen looks like he's check. Looks like he
I saw
check
he had
raised
3 chips
Maury
in his
there.
hand, and I thought maybe I can get him off it.
You still got the same gut shot with the 10.
And he's going to bet. Now the ace comes on the turn. Let's see what Maury does. Maury's going to call with pocket kings. You'd think that Maury probably didn't 3-bet there because he wanted to raise on the turn there, Alex. But the ace came and he got scared.
Right, exactly. But he's going to pay him off if the guy makes a move. But he's not. He's going to check. If he doesn't check, he's wasting his time. But he's going to, yeah. Maury even bet, right?
Yeah, it looked like the guy in seat 5 checked to Maury. And Maury bet. And look at this, king-queen mucks.
Yeah.
I can almost tell you that to you is a move I sometimes made, Alex, is, you sit there with an overpair and you get check raised on the flop. Well, if I don't see an ace on the turn, now I'm going to pop him on the turn. I'm waiting to pop him, but the ace came, so he slowed down a little bit.
Yeah. But anyway, about the young players, I don't know if you got a job or how old you are, if you're 21 or you're 30, because I'm 52, so young means is kind of prevalent to me. It could be 32.
5
20.
minutes delay.
But if you got a family, you need to maintain focus and make sure you stay, don't overindulge. Make sure that your family's in a good position and that you're keeping control over exactly what you're doing. If you don't have a family, you can be a little more careless. But if you're not going to school and you want to, and that's what you really want to do, it's a tough sacrifice. But dreams. That's what America's made of, is dreams. I mean, if you want to dream to be the best, then and you want to work at it, and you're gonna focus, and you're gonna read, and you're gonna study, and you're gonna be that person, then fine. But
if I get him out.
but you gotta remember, this is when you walk into one of these casinos, this is a big bank that people come to make withdrawals out, and they end up making deposits most of the time. And nobody's here to be your friend, really, you know. So I mean, just use a lot of common sense. Don't overindulge, and be realistic with yourself. I'd say don't throw away $100,000 job a year. And there's a lot of people doing that nowadays.
I know they'll just throw away a job and say I'm going to play poker now for a full time.
Yeah, because everybody wants to be. Everybody doesn't necessarily want to be involved in corporate America. They want to be in control of themselves, of their own lives, and be able to dictate what they want to do instead of going out and per se kissing whatever it is they got to kiss to do. You know?
Look at this. Pimp Mac is raised with 3-9 suited, kind of gotten his hand caught in the cookie jar. Gets 3-betted by Ace King, but flops the best hand when the flop comes 9-8-5.
This guy's got to let go here, unless he's going to raise.
But in the seat number 9, he raised with 3-9 suited, so kind of a loose raise there. He still has the best hand, though.
He's going to bet it again.
No, it looks like he's going to check call to Ace King here.
No, Ace King bet it, and way out and
Ace King is only going to have to hit an ace or a king here.
Yeah, well, I like it. I don't like his chances.
And he doesn't come on the river's a 3. It's going to give.
It's going to raise. Watch this raise.
He's going to check raise with 3-9. Look at that. Well, Ace King's can't pay him off.
Yeah, you got to dump their hand.
So Pit Mac makes 9s up on the river there. Kind of a little bit unorthodox there, Alex.
Yeah, so for young players, just stay focused and don't get out there and get too caught up in this thing. But have some fun, man, because there's a lot of fun to be had in casinos. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of fun. It's very lucrative. The atmosphere is good, but it has a lot of pitfalls. You know, I mean, all the things they say about gambling is possibly true. That's why it stayed so bad for so many years. Women, drugs, alcohol, money, all that's there. So don't get fooled.
Gambling mentality mixed with alcohol is never a recipe for, All right, we've got some more questions. We'll ask at the end of the hand. Pocket 10s here for seat 7. King Queen suited for seat 9. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 way action. 2 bets there, Alex.
Yeah.
5, 6 Jack Rainbow. Look at that. Seat number 6 has got top pair. And Grace is going to lead right out with her Jack from the small blind. She's got the best hand with Jack 9 right now. Seat number 7 is going to quickly muck pocket 10s. A lot of people don't get away from that hand.
He must know her very well.
Mm-hmm. Now Pimp Mac there in seat 9. He's got King Queen suited. He's got a couple of overcards. There was a raise, so you might have odds to take one off for
He's doing a lot of gambling.
Seat 3 is going to call with an ace-7 suited. So it's 3-way action here.
Oh, my goodness.
Turns the queen, and seat 9's hit his joker. Grace is going to bet with Jack 9.
He's supposed to raise here.
Yeah, he is, right, with top pair. Let's see what he does. Seat 4 is out of the hand.
He's going to raise. You can tell he's making a tell right here by turning his chips and taking his time. See?
Look at this, man. You know him, man. You know him, man.
I mean, when he takes that long and he's turning his chips, I know he's gonna raise.
Well, this is what I'm talking about with Grace. Now, she tends to pay off a lot of hands, and it looks like she's just going to call all the way with Jack now.
Well,
I think I might get away from that hand if I get raised on the turn.
Well, I know he hit the queen, though.
Yeah. So if you're sitting there with Jack 9, don't you think you'd probably get away from the hand?
I'm probably gonna let the hand go.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the tail in his hand when he's turning his chips.
Yeah.
And he's taking his time. I know he made a draw and overcard and he hit. It's the time to get away from the hand.
Got another question here from 2+2er, Big Fish Small Card Room. Alex, I thought it was pretty funny what you did to Jim McManus at the World Series of Poker. What do you think of what he said about you disrespecting the game? Also, have you ever read his book?
I haven't read his book, but I've heard it's very good, and I got respect for the gentleman. I mean, I don't want to disrespect him. I think that he put his foot in his mouth, and he doesn't know me. And anytime he wants to play me head up in a limit game, I'll sit there and play with him. I don't think he has a chance. I think that he's very conservative, and that he's very. The word I want to use is
passive.
No, not passive, but I think that he's stereotyped. I think that he thinks the individuals are supposed to respond the way that he wants to respond to life.
Oh, okay.
And I'm playing poker. You know, come on, let's be real here, man. You know, there's more aspects of the game than just his.
Looks like seat 7's got an ace here. It's ace, queen, queen on the flop. And it gets checked around here, Alex. Turns at 10. It's going to be a third spade. Anybody with a king or a jack has a gut shot to a straight now. The ace is going to check again from up front. Seat 9 checks. Maury checks. Well, paired with 5-6, you'd think he's going to check too, right? And he does. Wow, river's a jack. That's going to give
that was coming. You knew
Maury the straight of the king.
Well, nobody's going to call this hand unless they got a king.
Maury's going to bet.
Nobody's going to call unless they got a king. I mean, nobody's going to call. If you got a king, you're going to call. You're just not going to waste your time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, McMahon's had a lot to say. And
well, look at this though. Dave is thinking about it in seat number 8 there. And I don't think we mucked his cards, or we never had his cards up, but he didn't have anything in it.
But the one thing you want to do when you're playing poker is stay focused on yourself and not be defending other people. And he got involved. And personally, I think he got lucky on me. I mean, he flopped a set of 6s. I've had him put on 1-6, and he won the pot. I took it like I'm an ant and walked away, and I was satisfied. I mean, of course, I wanted to win. I wanted to win it. But I learned a lot of valuable lessons that year, and it's a lot of. It's a different. The World Series is a big difference. So, you know, he's been there many, many times before, and I'll see him again this year.
Now, again, you can visit Mr. Powers' website at www.poker-academy.net, and of course, there is a link up there on 2+2. And if you're interested, Alex, for people that might want to, hire you for speaking engagements or possibly do any type of work with you at all, they can email your agent, Scott Pinsker, scott@glaciergroup.com. Glacier spelled GLASURE group.com. You might want to check out glaciergroup.com's website. They represent a lot of, a lot of top talent. And I think some people might be scoffing out there, saying, "Well, he has an agent." Well, how big a deal is his agent? Well, this guy and this group represents some big talent, and I think it goes to prove that you're really serious about, maybe taking something else on in the poker world, obviously.
Well, I'm very serious. There's no doubt about that. I already spend too much time. My friend of mine, if there's a friend of mine named Jerry Duggs, he says, people used to ask him, well, why do you play every day? He says, because we have no option. Yeah, there ain't no options anymore. You know what I'm saying? I spend too much time at it.
Now, seat number 5 there, he's going to raise with an ace-10 suited. Actually, it looks like ace-10 offsuit, excuse me. Seat number 9 is going to call. Steven, seat 3 is going to call. So we're going to see three-way action here for 2 bets. Look at this, 2 players of flop top pair here. Ace 4-5. Ace 10 is the original raiser. He's going to bet. And Pip Mac's in trouble here. He's in kicker trouble. He's going to check call on the flop. Turns an 8. C3 is out of the hand. Ace 10's going to bet again. Pip Mac's going to call.
Yeah, he's
needs to hit 2 pair here, doesn't he? Or a straight. He's got a gut shot to a 7, right?
He's got a few outs.
Yeah,
but he's not going to get there.
Let's see if that third spade slows ace 10 down, and it does. It checks right behind him. And the ace 6 is going to take it down. Alex, Kenna James was talking. I want to talk a little strategy with you here, because Kenna James was talking a strategy about river betting and river playing, which I thought was interesting. A lot of people will shut down when they think they've had the best hand the entire time, and then the river comes a third spade. Or the river comes 1 card to a straight, and you're in first position. And a lot of people will check, and let's say I've had an ace-king and an ace flops. River brings 4 to a straight. I check, and a guy with a weak ace who would have called my bet if I had bet checks right behind me. Kenna says he likes to bet into those scary boards and muck if he is raised. Now, obviously, that depends on the player. But he says you lose a lot of bets when you check down on a third spade board, or on a board with 4 to a straight, because the guy will check right behind you, obviously.
And he's right. because the situation is that I had the best hand all the way, and if I was unlucky enough that the guy is playing. If the guy is playing like ace-5 and he makes a gut shot on the river, then he deserves the pot. But instead, I'm trying to get value for my money because it's not like I'm in a tournament and can't rebuy.
Right, exactly right.
But if I'm in a tournament, I might lay back because I'm gonna have to be satisfied because I don't want to get crippled.
Right.
But in a live game,
a cash game, right?
Yeah, in a live game, a cash game, I want to try to get all my
wow,
money.
bingo bango right here. Alex, look at this. Seat number 9's got a set of kings, and looks like seat 3 is still in the hand.
Got 3 8s.
He's got 3 8s.
He's in trouble.
And look at this. He's going to check raise the flop. Grace is out. Now let's see. Again, we might see a smooth call here and then a raise on the turn, right?
Yeah,
look at this.
exactly.
That's what he's going to do.
Yeah, it's not even a smooth call.
Crying call.
A crying call, right?
And look at this. Steve bets right in. He's made a full house, but Kings has a higher full house. Now, Steve... Look at this. King's just cold calls. He didn't pop him on the turn, Alex.
But watch the river, though. There's going to be a lot of money bet on the river. Watch. It's going to be at least 3 bets.
Oh, look like he didn't check raise.
And he's going to re-raise. Watch.
Yep.
Re-raise. Look.
Yep.
Re-raise.
And there is no cap if it's heads up. There is no cap if it's heads up.
Is there re-raise?
Yep, and he's going to re-raise again. And you got to think 8-9's going to probably re-raise again
here.
Yeah,
because he thinks the other guy's got pocket 9s or pocket 7s or something.
Well.
It's 5. Okay.
Oh, he did stop. He stopped, Alex.
I told you there's going to be a lot of bets on the river. No, he re-raised.
Oh, he's going to go all in, it looks. Oh, no, they have to. No, they want to keep re-raising, Alex, but they have to go step by step.
Right.
It's a limit
this
game.
This is going to be interesting.
Yep.
I got to go see Pim Mac get some money.
They both say that they want to go all in, but they have to do it street by street. And you would think that the guy in C3 could realize that this guy could have pocket kings here.
Or even for 2 8s. I know he can't have 2 8s. Or even, but this guy could think he could have 2 8s.
Well, I think the reason why you might not put him on pocket kings here, Alex, is because.
All right, now that'd be 7, right?
The way he played it.
Seat number 9 didn't check raise the turn.
And he's still raising. This guy doesn't see it.
I think that this guy thinks that Seat 3 thinks that Seat 9's made a straight. And Seat 9 didn't check raise the turn.
And he thinks he made pocket 7s. He thinks he made pocket 7s. He got 8s full of 9s. The guy thinks he got 7s full. Watch.
Let's count how many bets. Can we get a zoom in on how many bets there were? How many re-raises? How many bets? 1, 2, 3.
You got 4 of a kind?
Looks like it was raised about 7 times on the river.
He said you got 4 of a kind. He said no. He said I'm raising you again.
Yeah, I do too.
Zoom in on this guy that lost the pot. I gotta see this. Liz. He can't believe it. He's in shock.
I thought you had 4 8s, man. But just in case you didn't.
That is just unbelievable. Look at the size of that pot, man.
He said, I thought you had 4 8s, but in case you didn't, I put it all in because you didn't have no more money.
Dude, we're talking about 8 bets on the river there. So we're talking about $500 heads up on the river there.
I thought for sure he had 4 8s. No. Huh? There's no way you can put it 4 8. Oh, you saw? You knew it.
Look, everybody's discussing the hand.
I think everyone thought that he had 4 8s. I would have thought you. Why wouldn't he stop, right?
I don't know. I would never put it pocket 8 because he would not praise up.
Listen to the discussion. It's great. Look at this pot. Is that like a $2,000 pot or what?
Yeah, it really. I mean, it is because it's $1,000 from the river alone.
Anybody want to come to the bike and get in on this game? let's go play poker. What a game, huh? Let me see what's going on.
It was 8 King 8. Okay, now they ain't gonna be able to see my cards here.
Man, this is hell. It's hell accent. It's just 8 9. I mean, you can't even beat pocket 8. I mean, pocket 9 here. You know?
Oh, Alex, you know.
I'm glad somebody appreciates me. I mean, I appreciate the comments as far as McMahon is. I really wasn't trying to get out of line with him, but I was obeying the rules, so I don't see where he had a complaint. And he got pretty rude with me, so I appreciate your comments. And
we always appreciate 2+2ers comments on here on at Live at the Bike. I've got another question for you to ask here in a second. Look at this. Seat number 5 slot trips. Queen, 7.
I'm done.
And Dave Tuchman in seat 8 is saying that he would have stopped with his kings, Alex, and I think I might have too, because I would have put the guy in quads. Don't you think you would have stopped at some point with
I
your
would
kings?
have stopped long before on both hands.
Yeah.
Both hands, I would have stopped long before. But anyway, this guy asked me a question about my two experiences. I have two experiences.
He says, Alex, what's the most unusual experience you've had at a poker table, either as a player or a dealer?
Well,
That's from
as a dealer, I had a guy once spill coffee on me because he took a bad beat. And I got suspended.
I was reading that. I was in card player, wasn't it?
I'm the one that got suspended. I got 3 days off, and had it not been for everybody at the table, I probably would have got fired. But this is back in the day when players could get away with things like that. But the guy did get barred. What I actually should have done was call security, and he would have been taken out. As a player, I was up in Tahoe once. Let's see. Let me just get through this hand. And I'll tell you a real interesting story. And I really believe that I was cheated that day. But I was playing 30-60. I'll tell you about it in a minute.
No, I'm definitely king.
No, I know that was a dead giveaway when he raised it to Kingdom Come. Then I know it had to be kings. You know what I'm saying?
Look at Pimp Mac over there in seat 9. Stack those chips. Wow. Queen 6-7 on the flop. And Fred's going to bet in with the jack.
He's racking up, huh? Look at him. He's racking up. Yeah. Oh, he's getting ready to go home, dude. Look, he's racking up.
So, anyways, go on about your.
But anyway, my story is I was up in Tahoe. This is back in the late 70s, maybe. Yeah, it's late 70s. And we used to have a guy named Frenchie, and we were up in Tahoe playing 30-60, and things weren't quite as legal as they are now. There were a lot of moves being made in those days. And I got pocket aces. I had stepped away from the table for a little bit, and I came back and I got pocket aces. And the whole table called, and it was capped before the flop, and the flop come ace, queen, 7. Well, Frenchie had ace 7, and another guy had pocket queens. So, of course, it was capped on the flop, because I had pocket aces, pocket queens, and ace 7, and the turn card was a 7.
Yeah.
So now, I got the best hand.
Ace is full, right?
And queen's full, and ace is full of 7.
Or 7's full of aces,
7's
right?
full of aces,
Yeah.
right? So, of course, it was kept again, and guess what the river card was?
7.
By God.
Yeah.
I think I was hit that day. I think I got hit that day.
Well, Fred's going to bet in here with 10-6. He's got second pair. Seat 8's raised with ace-8. He's got an open-ended straight draw. And Pimp Mac is in there with a gut shot with ace-9.
Well, he's on a little rush, you know.
River's a 7. Fred checks with a 6. And it goes check, check, check.
Give him the free card, he might make it. No.
River's a king of hearts, and 10-6 has got the best hand. But look at this. Ace-8's going to bet out on his busted straight draw as a king comes on the river. Let's see if Fred makes a call here.
Oh, sure he's going to call.
He does. I think that's one of those cases, Alex, where if you were in a no-limit game, you might be able to bet out 10-6 on the river there, but not in a limit game. Yeah. But, that's obviously a bad beat. Anytime you've got a full house and you lose to quads on the river, that's a bad beat, what you were talking about there.
12 bets, I think.
On the river.
On the river, rather. It's 12 bets.
People like that, they forgot other people's hand. They get so excited when they get to full house.
Some people are poking fun at of course, the Jack High comment on 2+2, Alex. We always think that that's a great one. He called me with Jack High.
Yeah, I misread that hand. I was kind of toasted that day. That's a long story, but you can read about it. You can read about it in the magazine if you ever read of a story. And also, there's going to be a book out. Well, I don't know if there's going to be a book show, but at least we've done the treatment for the book, and there's possibly going to be a movie on it.
And is it the book is an autobiography in the treatment?
Well, it's an autobiography. Yeah. It's based on my life, 30 years in the desert. You know, I ain't been a good boy. Trust me. I mean, I've had my times in life, and I noticed a comment in there about a guy saying that maybe I was a cheat or whatever it is. I've done my fair share of dirt, so don't get me wrong. I'm not no perfect individual, but I've changed my life, and I believe in God. So don't get me wrong. I'm not mad at you for saying that, but I don't throw stones anymore because I can't catch them. And the tongue is a mighty sword, so you got to be careful what you say. But I love you, God loves you, and everybody has to atone for their own bed they made.
Seat 5 is betting. We can't see what he has in his hand, but Pimp Mac's calling him down with pocket sixes. River's a deuce, so you'd think that... Oh, look at this, though. He gets counterfeit. No, excuse me. He's got sevens and sixes.
Yeah,
You're right.
He's gonna put
yeah,
him off.
yeah. So, look at this, though. It's a check call.
Why king win? Eight.
Oh, 8's going to take it down.
8's are going to take it down.
I thought Pimp Mac got counterfeited there for a second, but of course he's got sevens and sixes, so he didn't quite get counterfeited.
I was bad playing on my behalf.
So we got about, looks like another 10 to 15 minutes left. And it's always a pleasure when we can get a guest comment.
Well, you're welcome, Bill Ivy, for... I hope that I helped you out with your comment and with your question. Just stay positive if you're young, you know what I mean? You can do it if you want to, but be sure to be careful.
And he has stopped the guys.
This is not a nice business, but yet it's a good business.
Well, I don't know, Isaac. You think that we might be able to look at chip count for seat number 9 again, just when we get a chance, because it looks pretty crazy there. So each rack is $1,000.
And this guy's going to be a premier player, man. You know, he's won 2 tournaments in the last. He won 2 tournaments here. Or he placed in 2 tournaments and won 2 tournaments here at the Stars and Stripes.
Well, now, because we're going to see Tuchman play him, which is rare. He's raised with Ace King out of seat 8. So let's see. And look at this. Grace is going to. Did she 3-bet with Ace Jack? It looks like she's going to 3-bet out of position with Ace Jack there. Boy, that's very difficult to play.
Not understandable.
Yeah. You don't think you wouldn't have done that with Ace Jack?
I might not even call.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it's Ace Jack suited. I would have called. I can't say that.
Well, now it's capped. And look at this. Look at seat 4 gamble here, Alex. 5-9 suited. Dave's got the best hand by far.
I want to know what store he's in.
Now let's see how Dave plays this.
I got Ace King. I'm going.
He's going to bet. Dave's going to bet, though. He was the original capper. Flop is 10-8-8. 5-9, you wouldn't think that he could call, but look at this. Grace and 5-9 both take one off.
He's pot trapped.
Now, Dave's probably going to continue to fire here. Well, he's got ace high, though. You know, I think he's probably going to continue to fire. You think ace king's good here?
Yeah, you're going to bet, but she's going to call because she's going to gamble on the ace.
Well, she's only drawing to a jack or a 10 for a chop pot here. An ace for a chop pot as well. Look at this. It's a 10, and it's going to go chop here, obviously.
Yeah.
And Dave's going to bet.
I'm going to bet anyway. Yeah,
of course you bet anyways, right?
Yeah, I'm going to.
Wow, I'm surprised that Dave checked at the end there. I guess it didn't matter.
Oh, 3-way chop. It was a 2-way chop.
2-way chop. Yeah. The guy with 5-9 was out of the hand. I don't know if
I'm
Dave was
swing at the pot anyway, just for.
I'm a little bit confused though, Alex. Why Dave? If you're sitting there with Ace King from up back there with that board, why would you not bet for the chance to get the guy to muck? Because what can you possibly be beaten by? Only a pocket pair above 10s, right?
Obviously, she didn't have a bucket barrel. She'd have been raising already, so I would have bet anyway. I mean. She may have laid it down. She may not. She's pretty good player.
I don't think she would have laid it down. The board plays, but I'm just a little bit confused about why Dave didn't bet.
She's pretty steady. Look, her chips haven't moved. So that's what you look for on a table. When I'm sitting at a table and I'm playing for 2 or 3 hours, I look to see whose chips move up and down.
Yeah. Dave saying at least he capped it with the Ace King offsuit. So that's one of the few hands we've seen Dave play. I think he got caught up with that 3-6 offsuit earlier, but.
What do you mean? I would have called you away. Especially, actually, on the turn, I probably would raise you. I'm not going to give you credit for right away.
3-bet in that position, you got to be kidding.
I hope everybody out there is getting ready to go to the World Series because I'm really looking to see you out there. It's going to be quite interesting this year.
I love you.
World Series is going to be phenomenal.
We got a new player here in seat 3. That's Amin.
No, you're tricky though. You don't necessarily need to have pocket aces to raise in the big one.
Rick just stepped in here. Yeah. What a great boss to have. You guys are so lucky to have a boss like him. Yeah, I mean, I know him personally for 30 years. I mean, without him, I'd be out of this club.
Him and Robert Turner, right?
Yeah, well, especially him. He's so calm, and I mean, he takes everything with a grain of salt. You know, he knows what he's doing. And, I mean, he really does. He really does.
Well, Maury's in here with the best hand. He's raised it up with pocket queens. He's gotten called in 3 other spots, so it's 4-way action here. Look at this. Flop is 2 hearts, 5-7-10.
Oh, I'll take it.
It's a pretty good flop for pocket queens there, Alex, right? Maury's going to bet. Look at this. Fred's going to raise on a king 10. He's got top pair with a big kicker, so he's going to raise his top pair.
Well, that's what happens when you flop top pair.
And look, Maury's going to 3-bet there. Yeah. Now that's going to definitely represent an overpair there, right?
He needs help, but it can happen. But I mean,
6 of spades, and Maury's going to bet.
These are the hands that hurt when the guy hits you on the river.
River's a 4. Now this is one of those times again right here, Alex, where it's one card to a straight.
Bet because the guy's got a 10.
Yep.
You just got to have the other card.
Yep.
That's all.
Yep. Now that's one of those times too that you're going to obviously bet on the river, and you might not even muck to a raise there on the river either. But we were talking about that earlier. If you just check, the guy just checked right behind you with King 10 there, right on the river. If you check with an overpair, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to bet you guys check raise. Depending on the player, I may lay it down. I mean, I've laid down aces many times, and I've cried tears later.
Well, I just think it's like one of those things where a lot of people will shut down on the river when it brings one card to a straight or one card or a flush, 3 to a flush out there.
There's some people that only want to go make it to the playoffs, and some people that want to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Well
said, I think.
So some people go that extra mile, and some people just kind of play it safe. That's just the way life is.
I think that poker's a game where you can use some of the information. You make a play, and then you read off of someone else's play, right? So checking, you miss a bet there in the end, and I think it's kind of weak sometimes to check down the river.
I want to say I have a good time on this show. I've always had a good time. I hope that one day you guys can ask me back.
No, I think that you do a great job.
If the people are interested in having me back, I'll be glad. I'm like everybody else. I'm getting ready to go to the World Series and try to make myself a little more famous if I can get there. Even though I'm not that famous, I'm just a guy playing 2 cards like everybody else. I got my feet. Do I have a left foot and a right foot? I think so. I got 2 legs. I don't have 3 of them, so it's all good.
See, I don't mind that. Because at least you know where you can get away from it. The worst thing is though is when you're up against Jack 10, you got King.
Again, there's always kind of a great discussion out there in internet land, Alex, about how this is a new show, Live at the Bike, and it's a question of should we turn the table mic up a little more and hear the players or listen more to the commentary. Now, obviously, I'm going to tell all of those people out there that. Especially when you have a special guest in here, you're kind of the show tonight, so that's why we don't. I've seen some comments about how the table mic was down tonight, and that's why. But, some people, people have to realize that Live at the Bike is catering not just to the avid poker player, that we're trying to, have viewers from all realms of out there, and people who might even be new to poker, so the commentary is necessary.
Well, there's so many new players in the game nowadays that you got to try to give them a view from all perspectives of the game, and and that's what you're trying to do. I mean, the Bike is the first one to do this. It's going to be because it's an acclimation period of time. It's brand new, and give the Bike time. They're always number 1.
Now Dave is raised there with 8-9. He has second pair, and look at this. It goes check, but Dave still has the best hand.
He made a move to protect his hand. Now he can pay off. You see what I'm saying? It's only going to cost him 1 bet to pay off. No matter what happens.
And look at this. He kind of has induced a bluff here. Oh, no, excuse me. I thought C-Dime was gonna check. But Dave checks behind him.
I missed a straight.
Yeah, he protected his hand. You understand? You make a move like that. That way you know where a guy's at. I can check now and pay off.
I think there are chances also that the overcard came to the 8 on the turn, so he didn't fire in there. More or less of a chance that he had the best hand at that point. But he ended up with the best hand on the river. He took it down. So we only have about
5
more minutes. Time for 2 more hands. So after this hand, I'm going to repeat some of the information that we've gone over about
one more
Alex's
good question.
Yeah, go ahead.
If somebody finds one more good question, we'll get it answered.
Absolutely.
I don't know where to look for it.
Oh, no, I got it. Sometimes that thing is a little bit tough to navigate on that site.
If somebody asks me a personal question, I'll see if I can answer it. Don't ask me nothing that's
Maybe we can do it together.
Out of line.
Have you ever been married before?
Of course I've been married before.
Of course.
We don't want to discuss that.
Thought you wanted to get more personal.
I want to say hi to Karen Jeltz, and I want to say hi to Scott, and I want to say hi to Carl and Nick and Joe Lamberson and Joe Holmes. Anybody else I can't think of right now, but all my friends that have always been beside me throughout 30 years in the desert.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of friends that have stood beside me when they didn't have to. Trust me.
So those are people that are listening to the show out there tonight.
Well,
They're definitely going to see you at the World Series this year, though.
Oh yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there 3 days before.
Which is less than almost 3.5 weeks ago, right?
I'm hoping to be working for somebody, so just call my agent. And,
we're going to go over your contact information here in a second.
Believe me, if you put me to work, I'm going to make you look good.
Grace is raised here with an ace-10 offsuit. Seat number 9 is called with the queen-3 suited. Fred in seat 4 is also called with king-7 offsuit out of the blind. To the flop here, we got ace-jack-5. Grace's flop-top pair. She's the original raiser. She's going to lead. Pimp Mac's going to lay down here with the queen-3 suited. You would think
He's playing
Fred's
awful good, isn't he?
Well, yeah, you think Fred's going to lay this hand down, too.
Take it down,
And seat 5 is also going to lay down bottom pair. Grace is going to take it down. Again, all those of you out there that are possibly might be interested in Alex's Powers to Services, you can email his agent, Scott Pinsker. And that's Scott at glaciergroup.com. That's Glacier spelled G-L-A-S-U-R-E group.com. You can also check out Alex's website at poker-academy.net. Look for Alex at the World Series this year. And looks like this is going to be our last hand of the night, Alex.
Anybody got one more question? Real quick.
Let's see if we get here.
No.
Well, we'll see here in a second.
What a hand here, huh?
Pocket
fours, queen 5 and queen 7. Look at this. Queen 4-7.
8 deuce 3 on the flop. Get this bet here about seat 9. Seat 4's bet here. Looks like seat 9 is called. Turn is a 7. Seat number 9 has picked up a flush draw. Looks like a bet and a call. See the river. River's a 3. That's going to give seat 9 trips on the river there, Alex.
Here we go.
Looking for the flush, but he's made trips, and he's going to pick up another pot.
Again.
3 threes is going to beat pocket fours.
Is he on what or what?
And boy.
Hey, thanks, Kevin, for the comment. I appreciate it.
What a way to end the show. Alex Powers, I really, really appreciate you coming on to Live at the Bike. Please join us tomorrow night at 6 o'clock Pacific time. Of course, we stream live cash games every Wednesday through Saturday from 6 to 10 Pacific time. Tomorrow night's game is going to be a 300 to 500 spread buy-in no limit game. For Bart Hansen and Alex Powers, good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
From Live at the Bike.
Remember, don't overindulge. Have a good time, but don't overindulge. Trust me on that.
It's here. It's big. And it's closer than you think. It's not a tournament. It's what you don't see on TV. The cash is real. The stakes are high. They bet big. They win big. They lose big. High stakes live action poker. Live at the Bike. Watch it live on the web or play it if you dare at the Bicycle Casino right here in Los Angeles.